House.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture told a federal court in Rhode Island that they're going to tap into a contingency fund to help fund SNAP for those 42 million Americans who are now without that crucial food assistance. Here's the key, though. They're only able to fund about half of it. SNAP costs about $9 billion for November benefits. They are able to cover about $5 billion of that in these food aid contingency funds.
As the government shutdown drags on, the delays at airports are growing worse because of a shortage of air traffic controllers. CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
What's different this time is we're seeing those air traffic control staffing issues occurring almost randomly across the country. Secretary Duffy, the transportation secretary, is warning delays could get worse.
At some airports, flyers are waiting hours to get through security lines as well. TSA agents are also working without pay. The government shutdown could weigh in on some of the races being decided on Election Day tomorrow. In California, Nancy Pelosi and Governor Newsom hosted a Get Out the Vote phone bank for Proposition 50, which would allow Democrats to temporarily change the boundaries of some House districts.
When Texas did what Texas did, people said, oh, we can't do that. Two no's don't make a right. It isn't two no's. It's self-defense for our democracy.
There is also a gubernatorial race in Virginia. The downsizing of the federal government has hit that state hard. In Colorado, a judge has thrown out a plea deal for a funeral home owner accused of stashing away decaying bodies. Jim Krasula reports.
The judge rejected the deal after family members of the deceased complained the possible 15 to 20-year sentence for Carrie Holford was too lenient. Holford and her husband, John, are accused of dumping more than 190 bodies and giving families fake ashes between 2019 and 2023.
Jason Brooks reports OpenAI is tapping Amazon's massive cloud operations to handle ChatGPT's increasing capacity needs.
OpenAI says it will purchase $38 billion worth of data center capacity from Amazon using NVIDIA's processors. OpenAI at first will use existing Amazon data centers, with Amazon eventually building out that capacity for OpenAI, which has been on a spending spree of late, having announced agreements with NVIDIA, Oracle, Broadcom, and Google, totaling a combined $1.4 trillion.
This is CBS News.
The annual Progressive Keys to Progress program provides vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com.
A way to help the hungry when you dine out. That story coming up. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Heather, this report brought to us by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. Down in Pacific, I'm starting to see a backup form northbound 167 through those lane restrictions, about a mile right now. Drivers are dealing with moderate showers as well. And remember, if you're driving heavy freight, that is, be sure to stay in that far right lane. South 5 has building volumes near the JBLM main gate, again between Lacey and Olympia, all added up. Tacoma to Olympia is a 40-minute drive. Minor backups at the First Avenue South Bridge due to a recent closure for marine traffic. And if you're heading into Seattle, North 5 slows at the Michigan curve up to I-90. South 5 slows a bit through the U District. Otherwise, we're looking good out there. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Bosch. Seattle police are investigating a string of violent crimes this weekend in the Pioneer Square neighborhood, including a stabbing and a drive-by shooting outside a nightclub.
King County Prosecutor's Office spokesperson Casey McNerthme explains why we don't always hear about their anti-crime efforts.
The reason that you don't is because you don't want to tip off the folks who still haven't been arrested yet or jeopardize those ongoing investigations.
Prosecutors and police say crime is down despite a violent weekend in Pioneer Square. A security guard arrested after police say he shot a man outside a nightclub early Saturday. Another man stabbed several times, and a drive-by shooting. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A Bothell man is accused of waiting under a tree in Shoreline for 40 minutes before shooting his wife to death last week. King County prosecutors have charged Hector Gonzalez Medina with first-degree murder. Medina's bail is set at $5 million, and he's due in court tomorrow. A man who allegedly set a fire in a shoreline house is in custody. It happened after the homeowner, Eric Basham, allowed people in need to stay in his house. And he says a man he didn't invite moved into a bedroom and locked the door. Basham tells KIRO 7 TV that when he told the man to leave, the uninvited guest set a couch on fire.
And I was working and I smelled smoke. And I came out and he's throwing things and yelling and running around without a shirt on.
The fire was put out and the man arrested. One woman was injured in a fire on Seattle's Capitol Hill last night. Investigators say it started as a small trash fire on the 9th floor. Cause of the fire is under investigation. If you're dining out, there is a chance for you to help the hungry. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas has more on Seattle Restaurant Week.
More than a dozen restaurants taking part in the annual event, asking diners to donate. That money then goes to places like Mojito on Roosevelt, which gives away more than 1,000 meals each week to a local food bank.
And it really makes me believe in the power of community and the power of, love.
Mojito says the proceeds will help its team deliver an additional 500 meals per week. Seattle Restaurant Week, meanwhile, lasts until November 8th.
The Seahawks handled the Washington Commanders with a 38-14 win last night.
Touchdown, Seahawks! The rookies are going nuts tonight.
Rookies Elijah Arroyo and Cody White with touchdowns, Torrey Horton with 2. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today with highs in the low 50s. It's 50 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Behold, a fiendish masterpiece from the bowels of hell! Yeah. Mondays, for I hate Mondays. They make me so steamed. Weekends, I go for the weekends! Son of a
Happy Monday, November 3rd. Jake Skorheim here, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
I cannot listen to that without shaking off all the gloom and doom of a Monday, rainy, windy, whatever. Yeah. That song just makes me glad to be here.
Doesn't it?
It really does.
Right. Hey, baby, put a smile on that face. That's what it feels like every time I hear it.
Really
does.
Feels
nice. Feels real nice.
Happy Monday, my friend.
Happy Monday. We have a lot of stuff to get to. We'll get into first things first in just a second. I guess the first things first is daylight savings time. Is it saving or savings? Is it plural?
I think it's savings,
Laura,
but I've been wrong about so much last
According
week.
to Veep, it's singular.
Singular.
Daylight
I
saving
had a
time.
sneaking suspicion that there was no S on there. But I've been calling it savings.
According to who?
Veep.
The TV show.
The TV show.
It's a satirical comedy TV show.
Yes.
That's going to be our basis for factual verification today.
Let's just say it is.
That's my basis.
Let's say it's not.
There are lots of things to hate about daylight savings, whatever it is, time. When you're rolling the clock forward, you're losing an hour of sleep. But I'll tell you what, getting that hour of sleep back, rolling it back, I feel like a superhero in the morning right now because all this extra time. I have all this extra time. I'm loving it. It's fantastic. Have you noticed a difference, Spike?
I'm the same way with yesterday. All day long, it's like, oh, it's not. I've got an extra hour.
time in the day.
And if I quit looking at my stove or my microwave oven, I won't realize that I've been given the gift of time.
Absolutely.
Because those are the only.
Those are the clocks you have to change manually.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have 3 wall clocks. We had to pull off the wall yesterday and literally push the old hand back an hour. Nice. Old grandpa style.
But that's kind of a fun thing.
It is. It was a blast.
Yeah, it's
I got that extra hour like 5 times yesterday.
Pretty special. I saw this clip floating around, circulating online. Pretty funny. I like it. This is from Cheers.
Guys, don't forget, tonight's the night we go off daylight savings time. Be sure to change your clocks.
Let's see, now it's 2 o'clock now, so which way does it go?
That's spring forward, fall back, Mr. Peterson.
All right, so it's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Set him up, Sammy. I was this close to going home.
It's funny.
I did that. I was at a bar when I was in college.
Oh, you weren't.
I was in a bar. I swear to you.
In college.
I did that.
I thought you said this weekend.
At midnight, they rolled the clock, or at at 2 a.m. they rolled the clock back
Everybody
to 1.
cheered.
And the whole place went bananas.
There you go. That's the brilliant part of it. That's the genius of it.
So it's big liquor. That's who's behind this.
That's who. If you look back on the history, I don't know this for sure, but I have been told that this whole thing goes back to big liquor. You can look that up. I don't know that that's absolutely true, but that's what I've
They're
been
behind
told.
most of the
Something. It was
good
during,
ideas.
It was during World War II, and they said, we need people to drink more. So we're just going to roll the clocks back. All right. We have a lot of stuff happening. We got to get into first things first here. Couple big crime things that happened in Seattle that I found kind of interesting. One of them was captured on a Tesla. Did you know Tesla cars are just constantly filming everything around them at all times?
I've come to that realization of late. There's been so many stories. They were self-reporting when vandalism happened.
Yeah.
People were going
Somebody
to
bumps your
prison,
door,
going to jail, boom, or lighting them on fire.
There was that weird thing that was happening. Remember those stupid Tesla protests where
Yes,
people were
yeah.
scratching the cars and
That's
lighting
what I'm
them
saying.
up?
Next thing you know, hey, why don't you just
You're all
scratch?
on
Why don't you scratch
high-def
the
camera.
owner now? Because you got that much. You got better eyeballs in the car.
Yes, but there was a shooting over the weekend. This was early Sunday morning. I can't say exactly what time it was because of the aforementioned time change. So I'm not great about that. But it was in Seattle. There's a 21-year-old guy who was arrested. He would not have been arrested were it not for this Tesla videoing him. And we have Luke Ducey, KIRO Newsradio reporter, joining us right now to fill us in with the details. Luke, welcome to the show.
Hey, good to be here. One of 3 shootings and stabbings. It was a violent weekend in Pioneer Square this weekend.
Is it all Pioneer Square?
All in the same area, within 3 blocks of each other. Yeah. Yeah, but the one you're talking about, you want to dive into that one?
Let's go that one first.
Okay,
yeah.
let's do it.
Then we'll get into the stabbing.
This was early Sunday morning, so like 2 a.m. or so on Sunday mornings when it happened. Shooting in Pioneer Square, where the others happened as well. Police say a Tesla captured it. Like you mentioned, the footage showed a man, according to police, crouching behind a vehicle and firing a gun before running into a white Mercedes sedan and then driving away. About an hour later, police caught the 21-year-old suspect and seized 2 vehicles connected with the incident. Just on a side note, he's now been booked into King County Jail on suspicion of a drive-by shooting and unlawful possession of a firearm. And we looked that one up too. Apparently, if the definition in the RCW of a drive-by is you're either in a car and you're shooting from the car as it's driving by, or if you're near a car and you use it in kind of
that
the
is used in the commission of
Yeah.
this shooting, it then qualifies as a drive-by.
That's a drive-by.
And that's a drive-away included.
Do we know whether or not so I had questions about this. Was the Tesla part of was it injured in the shooting, or was it
Good
just
question. I thought
was it
that
just
too.
being filmed?
I
Was it
wondered
just
that
filming?
too. Just filming. So here's the deal with Teslas. As I had to look this up too, I had no idea either. So it has something called Sentry mode. Yeah. That makes sense, right? And when enabled, the cameras on a Tesla will record video clips when it detects suspicious activity. So the car is thinking and watching, and then it says, oh, I think that's suspicious, like someone walking toward it or someone breaking into the car. It starts rolling on the cameras. And in this case, if I guess a suspect is crouching down and firing a gun, that triggers off the cameras. And all the footage is stored on a USB drive inserted into the vehicle. And so I think what happened was police said, this Tesla is there, and they
probably just contacted the owner. They knew that it has a Sentry mode.
Yeah.
That's pretty fascinating.
Detectives and said, do you have this? Yeah, let's pull out the USB and plug and look at that.
What's crazy is it was just dumb lucky that guy did such a stupid thing next to a Tesla, because if he had crouched near any other vehicle, right?
No
would have been
evidence.
filmed. And then they were able to arrest the guy and find him and get the make of the vehicle. So they were able to, peacefully apprehend him about an hour later in a alleyway. Is that right?
Security guard apparently did identify him and the vehicle, and I think contacted police as well. But this is part of the evidence, right?
Eyewitness testimony is the least reliable form of testimony, but a video from a car on a USB, that's solid as a rock.
It's pretty good. Good stuff.
I'm really glad to hear it was a USB in the car.
And not to some cloud somewhere?
Some cloud somewhere where they can turn on every car and watch everything that goes on from just a Tesla every 500 feet and the whole country's
Now,
under surveillance state.
Do we know that they can't do that?
I don't know that they can't. That keeps me up at night.
That's true.
I don't know that it would keep me up at night, but it would be something that I'd be interested in.
Side note too, this is, we think about all these other movies out there. Now I'm thinking of all these spy movies where someone's going to go into someone's Tesla with a different USB.
Oh, and put rigged.
You're talking about a
dirty
minority,
USB,
like a Minority Report,
something like
That's
that.
That's exactly the plot of Minority
Report. Or what if you
Report.
you get an Uber ride, right, and then you switch out the USBs? I don't even know where they are in the vehicle. I'm just thinking of all kinds of ideas now.
Yeah.
I had no idea there were cameras.
Well, in Minority Report, if my memory is correct, and Laura can verify this because she sees everything, there are precogs, and they see pre-crime. and then 2 of them agreed on one, and a third one did not agree on the pre-crime.
Right.
And then they store away that pre-crime in a separate file, and then that was used against the other 2. It's all kind of convoluted. Laura, is that about right?
Sounds right.
Have you seen
Guess
Minority Report?
guess what I watched this weekend?
What?
Goonies.
Oh, you saw Goonies?
I saw Goonies this weekend.
Finally.
Yeah. It felt
Speaking of
kinda
high-speed
Halloween.
chases, yeah.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I think you probably would have imprinted on it a little harder if you'd seen it as a child first.
Yeah, but I realized why I didn't, and it's because of the swearing.
Oh, okay.
There's
yeah.
no way
They
my
swear
mom
in
would
it?
have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
There's a couple.
I had
There's a
strict
couple
parents.
choice swear words. Yeah.
More than a couple.
Just to add some
That's
edge.
a low bar of swearing.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. But
Come on.
Laura grew up pretty sheltered.
Yeah,
So that makes
Famously
sense.
so.
You can still go to the Goonies house in Astoria.
I've been to it.
Yeah, we talked to the guy who restored it.
Yeah.
Like a total passion project. Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, so that was the Tesla crime that was solved
First
in
of
Pioneer
3
Square
over the weekend.
The
yeah.
interesting thing about this is we were just on Friday. I don't even know if we ended up getting to the story because it was kind of a little bit boring. But so I'm sure we didn't do it on our show. But there was a story about people saying, "Oh, Pioneer Square is just revitalized and it's the best place to be in the world," and then you hear, unfortunately, there's all this crime happening right there, which is the Pioneer Square that I grew up knowing. Was kind
crime,
of
really crime-riddled?
Pioneer Square?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, well, see, okay, I moved to the city. That's
Yeah,
fair. I mean,
100%.
but that's the overarching image you have of Pioneer Square is that it's crime-riddled.
In the late 90s and early 2000s,
okay,
when I was working for Private Eye in Pioneer Square.
Yeah, well, you were in the crime business at
I
that
was in the
point
business
time.
of
Yeah,
crime, so I was
It was your
surrounded
job
by
to see crime and find crime and solve crime.
Yeah, 100%.
I got here in the late 80s as a bar-hopping rock fan, and Pioneer Square was Mecca.
Here's the problem. You're just living your life not even realizing the people that you're surrounded by. And I had to have a keen awareness of that
gift.
as a 16-year-old working for a Private
It's
Eye.
a burden you bear, buddy.
Luke, did you know that I was a Private Eye?
I did not. I thought you were just joking just now.
No.
Oh,
No.
wow.
No. I work for a guy.
You've seen all kinds of things then.
Boy, the stuff I've seen. The stuff that I've seen. My parents made me quit that job because it got too real. You know what I mean?
I can imagine you get sucked into that, and then once you're down the path, you're gonna have like that. Do you have a? He kind of has a 1,000-yard stare, doesn't he?
He does.
Like he's
The camera's not on me right now, but it was.
You know what the irony of this whole story is that your job today will be replaced by a Tesla just parked there. You used to follow people around and take pictures,
Listen,
right?
the thing about a Private Eye is you want to blend in, and there's nothing that blends in more with the background now than a Tesla.
That
They're
Tesla,
everywhere.
like I said, every 500 feet.
And so that's why I was hired originally to be. I wasn't an official Private Eye. I didn't go to school. I wasn't certified.
What did you do? Did you take photos of things?
I went around. I took photos. I worked for a guy, and he used to send me out, and he would say, "Hey, go find this person, take photos, follow them for 4 hours, which is what we're being paid to do.
Person wasn't supposed to be there.
Let me know everything that they're doing,
who they're with."
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty dark stuff. Pretty dark stuff. I've seen some things, man.
I can imagine.
My parents made me quit because I saw some stuff that I probably should have seen. At
Plus, you
17.
started smoking at 16, wore a fedora. It
No,
was
I
awesome.
didn't. The fedora was cool.
The fedora was cool. I've seen pictures. You look
Solving
good.
crimes.
Yeah.
No, the guy that I worked for. We'll get back to your other stuff in a second. More about me. The guy that I worked for actually. So when I met him, I went in for the job. I met him through a kind of a weird circumstance, but I ended up working for him. I go in, he's got his foot up on the table.
As you do.
And he had an injury in his leg. I think it was a gunshot injury, but might have just been an old man injury too. But in my head, it was God, he's wounded.
Let's just say it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
He probably
this
just,
makes for a better story.
Probably hurt his
You
knee
bet.
playing racquetball or something.
Pickleball.
But he's got his leg up on the pickleball wasn't really a thing then.
No.
Yeah, but it might have been because it was invented here. But he has his leg up on the table, and I worked for him for like a summer, and what I found out eventually was, so I leave and then I see an obituary of his. He passed away.
He passed away.
He passed away. He was
okay.
not a young man. But he passed away. And this obituary, and I always thought there was a lot of stuff going on. Like it felt like I was just like right on this side of the line where maybe this is not a good spot for me to be in. And then in the obituary, I read that he's actually the nation's first. It's not a joke. You can go look this guy up. Patty Calabrese. He was the nation's first witness relocation.
The relocation guy.
Protection
New
guy.
The
identity.
first one ever to go into the witness relocation program?
First one ever. They made a movie about his life.
What? Oh, what's the movie?
They made a movie about his life. I'm trying to remember what it might have been in Plain Sight or something, but it was starring who's the guy from Godfather? The brother.
Fredo?
Not Fredo, curly hair.
Oh, Jimmy Kahn.
Jimmy
James
Kahn.
yeah.
Starring Jimmy Kahn about this guy's life. He flipped on the Buffalo Mob back in the day, back in the 1960s.
Dude, who are you hanging out with?
Right? At 16.
I told you.
That's why his parents pulled him back.
That's why my parents pulled me back. Yeah, think of the life that I might have led.
Was there like a W-2 situation, or you don't have to? Don't incriminate yourself. But I'm just.
You know, the statute of limitations is passed, so I can tell you that this was under the table work.
In cash,
of course.
brown bag full of cash.
Don't ask. No records.
Right.
Where that money come from? I don't know.
Don't ask.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what.
Don't ask.
It was good money. And so I worked for this guy, but then I find out he was like witness relocation program, all this stuff. The mob was out to get him, and I'm sitting there working for him.
So the mob is actively looking for this guy. Like
For a while.
they're still like
For a while.
there's still some people angry about some things.
Well, I can't say that. I can't say one way or the other if they were still angry with him. But they ended up making.
They tend to hold a grudge, though. It's a safe assumption.
I think the thing was they all kind of aged out. The people that were mad at him might have all kind of natural.
Every time they
causes
go to court, they have oxygen tanks or in wheelchairs. I've seen the films.
Yeah, plus mob guys don't live like super long lives generally.
Bad healthcare plans.
To write a book.
But it was a bizarre experience. So, and that was my experience in Pioneer Square. His office was in downtown, like in Pioneer Square, old fashioned. You look up at the building, it was like a all-seeing eye. That was his logo. That was my experience in Pioneer Square. You had to have kind of like tall shoulder. What does it say?
Broad shoulders.
Broad shoulders.
Yeah.
Which I did. I was a very
probably
young
packing
kid.
heat at 16.
I wasn't packing heat.
My experience was flannel. Doc Martens.
Yeah, you were having fun.
Yeah, I was an extra in singles. That was
hair.
my experience at Pioneer Square.
Not me.
Yeah.
Not me, buddy.
I wonder if you guys ever crossed paths down there.
No, he was down there when
you
I was
weren't looking for him.
I was a twinkle in my father's
late
eye.
'80s, early '90s when I was doing it. You weren't even around yet.
Yeah,
I
would have been
in your father's
one.
eye. Oh, it's one. That well. Isn't that classic cartoon Gangster Baby though?
Yeah.
You pull back the cradle and the guy's got a 5 o'clock shadow and a cigar.
That was me.
That's you.
That was me. All right. So tell us about this. Tell us about this
You
stabbing.
want to know more? Oh my gosh, we're out of time.
I want to know about the stabbing that happened in Pioneer.
This was
okay. So
brutal.
there was a shooting. There was a security guard who shot a 27-year-old man out in the leg. So that was one thing that happened. Then the stabbing. Okay, a couple hours after that shooting, more gunshots and a fight at the sinking ship parking garage. Everyone knows what that is. Right at the entrance there, apparently this 24-year-old, according to police, was trying to break up a fight, was stabbed 4 times in his back, 3 times in his scalp, once in his ribcage, once in his right arm. And you know what they called it? Non-life-threatening injuries. Like, he's okay. He's at Harborview. Was recovering at Harborview, but it was okay. So that was the other thing that happened. And then the shooting that we talked about that was classified a drive-by shooting, but an extremely violent weekend. Saturday morning and then Sunday outside nightclubs.
Would you guys spend your evenings in Pioneer Square after dark? Would you go there? I mean, you hear stories like this. It's hard to make that argument.
It is hard to feel like it's a safe place to go and have fun.
Yeah.
Do business even.
Right when we've done a story about somebody being stabbed 9 times.
Well, let's travel. They go really fast, man, and they go.
They keep going until they hit something.
What do you guys think about what? Now this guy's 24, so this wouldn't apply here. I don't know who did the stabbing. They're still looking. They say the assailants remain on the run.
That's the one suspect.
Unidentified.
That's the one suspect they're still looking for.
Yeah, the one guy you wish they would find the stabbing.
Who did the stabbing? Yep.
In D.C., Mayor of D.C., Muriel Bowser, she's declaring a limited juvenile curfew in D.C. It says effective immediately, all juveniles under the age of 18 are subject to a curfew from 11 p.m. until 6 a.m., which will extend through 11/5. This is in response to several weeks of disorderly juvenile behavior, which endangered both themselves and others. Do you think something like that could work in Seattle for these kids? I'm not saying these are all kids.
Yeah, because none of these are child related.
Well,
we
don't know that. We don't know that in the stabbing case.
That's true. We don't know. It's a suspect
that
at
could
large.
have been a ne'er-do-well youth.
First of all, I don't think anybody under 18 has a reason to be in Pioneer Square after 11 o'clock at night. Right. I'm kind of for that.
Even if you're working for like a gumshoe, don't do it.
You got a permit out there. It's like a library card for.
It's the same advice. I guarantee all of our dads gave us the same advice.
Nothing good happens after midnight.
Yep.
Boom.
That's right.
Your dad said the same thing, Lou?
Absolutely.
What was the number? Was it midnight?
Yeah, it was midnight.
Mine was 11.
I didn't. 11?
Yeah, nothing good happens after
Mine was
11.
after 2 a.m., so it's all relevant.
On average, it's about midnight.
It's about midnight. Yeah, it's
nothing good happens after about midnight.
So the mayor of D.C. says 11 o'clock, 18 and under, you're off the streets of D.C.
I think that's smart. A
lot of crimes in and around King County. We're seeing it, with kids, juveniles.
Is that something that could work here?
I think it
Seattle?
could.
I think it could too.
It's a strong approach.
I think it could.
But it's going to discourage, the ne'er-do-wells. Keep them off the street.
I just keep picturing you right now. I can't stop picturing you in like a trench coat and a fedora.
long-range camera.
Yeah.
Right? Sitting behind a pole.
You guys have nailed it. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. Wow. We should talk more about that sometime. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Next, believe it or not, was a pretty interesting weekend in sports. I vowed to not watch the World Series because I was feeling spiteful about the Blue Jays, but I still ended up watching it. And the Seahawks look fantastic. Fantastic. Everybody
did you break down and watch the World Series finally?
I finally did.
I'll tell you why the numbers.
I watched Game 7 because it was Game 7.
Yeah, number 7. The series numbers in Seattle are worst in the nation. I think we punished ourselves.
Yeah.
I think we were holding a grudge, and we paid the price.
But the Toronto Blue Jays fans suffered doubly that night. We're going to play you some crazy, hilarious audio when we get back. Stick around.
What's your holiday tradition? It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
Hey, I don't have to be the one to tell you that the rain is back, everybody. It's rainy season. It's time to protect your home now with help from the pros at Integrity Roofing and Construction. Years of experience in roofing and restoration. Their skilled teams, they do exceptional craftsmanship. I can tell you firsthand, these guys replaced my roof, and they went so far above and beyond the call of duty to make sure that everything associated with my new roof was as it should be to increase the value and safety of my home. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction just speaks for itself. Don't wait until the rain starts. Schedule your free estimate today at 206-202-ROOF. That's 206-202-ROOF, or online at integrityrc.com.
Announcing the Royal Corgis.
What have you done?
I wired pounds to London to buy Royal Corgis.
You went to the bank to wire money for Royal Corgis?
That means yes.
You are so dumb. Banks are slow and they hide all kinds of fees and transfers.
Those mutts.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. It's faster and never hides fees. Oh, they're fighting, just like the real royal family.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
Hey, Mike Salk here. Who's got family coming to town this holiday season? I know I do. My parents will be staying at my house for a few days over Thanksgiving. And obviously, you want to make sure your home is prepared. You want to present a warm environment. And that starts with a well-heated, properly insulated home. Make sure your insulation is ready for that challenge this year by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come to your house, just like they did at mine, do a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and your attic. If your home has damaged insulation or no insulation in the attic or crawl space, get it fixed before the cold weather really shows up. If you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95%. But you got to act now because many of these rebates are ending at the end of the year, including federal incentives. Call Crawl Pros. They're the crawl space experts, and learn what's going on behind that crawl space and attic hatch for free. Then see what energy rebates you're eligible for. Go to crawlpros.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good to Go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good to Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out on my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
One day, the words on the page blur. You hold the menu a little farther away. It's subtle, until it's not. At Near and Far Vision Partners, we help you see clearly, near, far, and in between. Expert surgeons, advanced technology, sharper focus for every moment. Schedule your complimentary consultation at nearandfarvision.com or call 425-900-2414. Near and Far Vision Partners in Bothell.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at homecomfortalliance.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare is underway. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man here. Get organized now with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. It came down to the wire, but SNAP food benefits will be restored, at least in part, after federal judges directed the Trump administration to use emergency funding. CBS's Vicki Barker with the latest.
Moments before the noon deadline, the Justice Department affirmed that the Trump administration is indeed working to pay out SNAP benefits and that the full contingency fund will be empty today. That will result in reduced SNAP benefits being paid out for November as the government shutdown continues.
USDA just now saying it could be weeks or even months before the 42 million Americans who rely on SNAP will see those reduced November benefits. During the shutdown, air traffic controllers and TSA agents are working without pay. Some are opting to call in sick instead. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin is at SeaTac Airport with more.
Yeah, unfortunately, even if maybe, say, Seattle looks like it's moving smoothly this morning, the airport that you're flying to may be having those issues. In fact, this morning at Newark Liberty International Airport, they are limiting the number of flights that can land. And some flights were delayed for hours yesterday because of the staffing shortages. Thankfully, it seems like most things are moving smoothly, at least for right now. Here, though, today.
The government shutdown is on track to be the longest in history, but CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns reports.
Lawmakers are certainly not acting like it at this point. The Senate is not expected to come back here to Washington until later this afternoon at 3 p.m. We don't know if they're going to have a vote yet on another vote on this continuing resolution to fund the government.
Democrats have said they won't pass the temporary budget unless tax credits are extended to keep premiums under the Affordable Care Act lower. OpenAI has signed a $38 billion deal with Amazon. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher.
OpenAI's deal with Amazon is a vote of confidence in the cloud provider, which is important a couple of weeks after a technical glitch at Amazon took down vast swaths of the internet.
The ChatGPT creator will now run its AI systems on Amazon Web Series. The deal follows OpenAI's recent pivot away from Microsoft as its sole cloud provider. A pair of consumer goods giants are combining forces. More from CBS's Jason Brooks.
Kimberly-Clark, maker of Kleenex, Huggies, and other paper and hygiene products, is snapping up Tylenol maker Kenvue for $48.7 billion. Kenvue was spun off from Johnson & Johnson in 2022 and also includes brands like Listerine and Neutrogena.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 224 points, NASDAQ up 98. KIRO News Radio traffic, here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Heather. This report brought to us by Seattle Sports. South 5 in Seattle at the West Seattle Bridge. We've got a crash blocking 2 left lanes, and you're sitting in a bumper-to-bumper backup, almost starting now under the Convention Center. North 5, you're going to jam up just past that Michigan curve to the seam. The First Avenue South Bridge is up right now for marine traffic. South 405 starting to fill in between Factoria and Northeast 44th and Renton. Bellevue to Renton, 15-minute commute. Pacific northbound 167, you've got a mile or so thick backup through those lane restrictions. Further north, northbound 167 at 180 at the stall partially blocks your off-ramp. It's in the left lane. And South 5, you're looking at building volumes through the JBLM main gate area. A little more slowing as you head into Olympia. Tacoma to Olympia will take you 35 minutes. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today with highs in the low 50s. It's 50 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Lots of sports to chat about. Spike, you watch any of the World Series?
I finally gave in. I was like stubborn and not going to watch it as a hurt Mariner fan.
Yeah, out of spite.
Out of spite, and I was the one who's paying the price. I was holding the grudge, expecting like baseball to notice.
Yeah,
and I missed
Finally
some of the
knocked on your
great.
door and
This
said,
is
come on,
buddy, and that was an amazing. I watched the end of Game 7. I watched a couple different sections during Games 5 and 6.
I avoided it completely until Game 6.
Okay. Yeah, it was too fresh. It hurt.
And then I watched Game 7 because it's a Game 7. It's a World Series. Right. Unbelievable game. Do you think that's one of the best series ever?
Some of the firsts that were established in this World Series, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
From the most hits ever in a World Series by one of the Toronto players, the back-to-back leadoff home runs to start a game, never happened before. The fact that a game flipped. The outcome was changed with a ninth inning pinch hit home run. Never happened before in all of baseball history.
Here that is. That was pretty amazing. Miguel Rojas, who had not had a hit in the entire month ahead of time.
How does a manager know to take this guy, dust him off, put him in you're losing the World Series in Game 7. Your last at bats. You're down to your last 2 outs.
Yeah. Maybe there was just I don't know why somebody would do that. Maybe they just thought, all right, let's take the pressure off. It's obviously a huge moment. Maybe that shakes things up. And everybody's waiting for Ohtani.
Right.
That's who they're worried about. And then this guy gets up to base.
This guy's not your problem. He's a Major League ball player.
And they have 1 out. All that the Blue Jays have to do is get 2 outs and they win the World Series. And then this happens. Oh, I have audio here. Here we go. And then this happens.
Payoff. Drilled to left field and deep and gone! No way! Miguel Rojas!
The sound of 46,000 people crapping their pants.
Ties the game.
At the same time.
Ties the game, so it goes into extra innings. And then they win, basically, on a home run.
Another one.
In the 11th. Just a ton of home runs.
Smith hits a high fly ball to deep left field. It's got a chance. It is gone! It's Will Smith in Game 7. And in the 11th inning of Game 7, the Dodgers lead for the first time.
What was unbelievable.
Unreal.
Yeah. What was crazy about that, too, is I saw a stat after the game. That's the amazing thing about sports. All of the ways that all the stats line up, and you just go, what? So there has been a Will Smith, that was Will Smith who just hit that home run, who has won the World Series for the last 6 World Series.
Excuse me?
There's been a Will Smith on each of the winning teams. Now, he makes up 3 of those with the Dodgers.
Okay.
But there's 2 other Will Smiths who also won the World Series.
Really?
Yeah, so 6. So Will Smith has won the World Series 6 times in a row.
Gotta get us a Will Smith.
We need a Will Smith.
That's hilarious.
Clearly. So the Toronto fans, let me ask you a question as a Mariners fan. Were you rooting for, because I had this conversation with, this was during Game 6, which was Halloween, right? Halloween night was Game 6.
Yes.
And then Game 7 was
Saturday night. Yeah.
Saturday night. Yeah. So we were at some friend's house preparing to go out trick-or-treating with the kids, and they had the game on. And I'm rooting actively against the Blue Jays.
Were you really?
Yes.
Oh, see, I was rooting for the Blue Jays.
Explain this to people, because I'm sure it's the same reason that our hosts had.
Well, if the team that beat us is the best team in baseball, that says a lot more about us.
You say that alleviates the pain for you.
It does, a little bit, yeah.
And I was texting with our buddy Jeff, who was saying the same thing. He was rooting for the Blue Jays.
Rooting for the Blue Jays. We're the American League.
The hurt was I didn't like it. I didn't like the way the Blue Jays won. I didn't like some of the calls. Just spitefully, I didn't want to. I didn't want to root for them, so I was rooting against them.
Okay.
Although it's also really tough to root for the Dodgers.
The most 335.
How do you just root for a paycheck? You're just rooting for money. That's what you're rooting for, and you root for the Dodgers.
That's what the no salary cap in baseball really, it's hard to say that
they are fun to watch.
Yeah, they are fun to watch, but they've been to 4 World Series in the last 6 years or something like that. They did back-to-back twice.
It's like when you watch
it was 8 years.
But it's like in the NBA when LeBron would just call up whoever was on like a contract year and he'd say, "Hey, come and play with me in Miami.
Right.
Let's all go play in Miami and then just win everything. Let's have the best players of all time just win everything." Which doesn't feel really fair, but whatever. I didn't want to root for the Blue Jays.
It's easier to buy a championship in baseball than any other sport. Any other sport.
Well, they've done it now twice in a row.
Well, not just them. You look back at some of the one and dones of Major League Baseball. The Florida Marlins, the Arizona Diamondbacks, yes.
And the Mariners had an opportunity to prove baseball wrong, or maybe they're the exception that proves the rule.
Well, but the Mariners also at the trade deadline stepped up and did what they could do to get into the race, brought themselves, 2 key players at the trade deadline.
True, but nowhere near what the Dodgers are paying.
No, they're less than
or the Blue Jays.
Less than half the Dodgers, a little more than half the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
half.
Okay, so the Blue Jays lost, which I don't know. For some people, gave you the warm and fuzzies. For other people, not so much.
I can understand the.
But after the game, did you see what happened when fans were trying? Because it was a very late game. It went extra innings.
I missed this, but you filled me in before the show, and is this poetic justice?
Blue Jays fans expected, because thousands and thousands of Toronto's a big city. They have a subway. They expected to be able to take Metro home.
People encourage it. The whole city encourages it.
The whole city's like, hey, make sure you're doing it safe.
Right?
Have fun of the game, have some drinks, everything. Take Metro home.
Yes.
It was closed because it was past when they normally shut down. Now, the fans I was seeing were led to believe that because extraordinary circumstances,
it's Game 7
we'll keep it running.
Right.
And then they show up to the Metro station and it's shut down and the fans are losing their mind. Thousands of people. Just like, how are we going to get home?
Right.
How are we going to get back home? And then think about like Ubers or taxis or whatever you're going to take.
Now expect 30,000
with
Ubers.
Thousands of fans.
Right?
Good luck. All right. So
hours and hours and hours.
These were the fans. These were Blue Jays fans who had just lost the World Series. So they're already in pain, finding out that they're now stuck downtown.
12:30 is the cutoff for the 1 o'clock train. Don't people say 1 o'clock is the last one. It's not 1 o'clock. And that's the last one. That's bull. I call you shame on you.
We got a lot more of that. I'm not going to play it because it makes me nervous.
Now, if you root against the Blue Jays, and we talked during our ALCS about how Toronto fans come to this town, and nobody likes when they do that. They cost us bat night, Toronto fans in this city.
Which I was surprised about because they're Canadian. I just assumed the Canadians were good
guests.
guests.
They got a reputation for being polite.
Not in baseball.
Not at 12:30 in the morning when you can't get home after your team blew a 2-run lead in the 7th and the 8th inning and on.
Not at all.
Ugh.
Craziness. Crazy, but kind of funny.
I had a similar experience at the Super Bowl. When I went to, real quick, I know we're close to them.
Oh, in New York?
I went to Super Bowl 48 in New York City. Remember at halftime when Percy Harvin ran back to kickoff?
Yes.
All those orange jersey wearing Bronco fans were leaving the game. A minute into the second half, you could see them streaming out of the ballpark. By the time that blowout was over, there was no Denver fans left in the building. We watched the trophy ceremony, the confetti, we made angels, the whole 9 yards. Only Seahawks fans.
That's
and you go
crazy.
Outside, and every Bronco fan who left at halftime was waiting for the first train of the night, which didn't run till an hour after the game's completion.
What?
These people,
because once you leave, you can't get back in.
You can't get back in. So the whole line, there was probably 60,000 people waiting for trains. You couldn't get on the parking lot any other way. The first half was orange. The second half was blue. They sat in the parking lot in the cold New Jersey night for 2+ hours.
Poor Broncos
Those poor
fans.
people.
Just watching it on their phone.
Felt great.
They paid thousands for tickets.
And left early and couldn't get back in.
Well, it serves you right. Don't leave early.
There you go. I don't care how bad. They were leaving early last night in D.C. We hadn't talked about the Seahawks, but what a night the Seahawks had. Oh, my God.
We should get to the Seahawks in a little bit.
What a night.
They look like a special team.
They can be. There's a great article about it's trade deadline tomorrow. Do the Seahawks just plug those final few holes? And it's third youngest team in football.
They look real good. Oof. All right, maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. And I had a bunch of sports this weekend. And I don't even know how to handle this.
Okay.
There was an opposing coach that was being very bad. Very bad.
These are 9 and 10-year-olds.
These are 9 and 10-year-olds.
What? Let's talk about that.
I want to talk a little bit about that because as a parent on the sideline watching another coach on the other side, you're just like, at what point I'm not rooting against the kids, but you want to root against an adult behaving like that.
I want to hear this.
It was ridiculous. So all right, we'll talk a little bit about that and the Seahawks when we come back. Stick around.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Matt DeFactor.
The campaigns are wrapping up. It's time to vote.
If you haven't already.
Our old friend Dave Ross joins us with his thoughts on the big races.
OpenAI teams up with Amazon and the filibuster and why President Trump wants to kill it. New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold on the big national stories.
Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Join us tomorrow 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Hey, if you're looking for a roofing company, I have good news for you. Homeowners have voted Valentine Roofing the best roofing company in the Pacific Northwest 3 years running. That's why I'm confident when that red Valentine van pulls up to your house, you're going to get the same experience I did. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and a team that always goes the extra mile. Valentine Roofing helps you protect what matters most. And they back every new roof with a lifetime warranty. Those are magical words, lifetime warranty. But they do more than just roofs. Did you know that? If you need gutters cleaned or installed, attic insulation, even exterior cleaning and custom holiday lighting, you can count on the pros at Valentine. And if you have a leak and you need help now, with Valentine's Leak Stop Guarantee, they'll stop the leak in your old roof for free until your brand new Valentine roof can be safely installed. Because Valentine doesn't just replace roofs, they protect homes, and they start protecting yours the moment you call. And with flexible financing options, including 0 down and 0% interest, taking care of your home has never been easier. Call 206-ROOFING to get your free estimate today. That's 206-ROOFING.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind and the Care Partners Living difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, how many chickens do you think there are on the farm?
3,000?
What do you think chickens eat?
Grass.
What else?
Seed.
So, do you know what organic eggs are?
The ones that you put in brownies?
Yes, the ones you put in brownies.
We hope you choose fresh eggs from our family farm.
Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're going to talk a little football here for a second. Again, we don't do a ton of sports. I know we've done a little sports today, but that's what people want to talk about. The Seahawks are very exciting. The Seahawks look
very exciting.
Great. They look great. How excited are you about the Seahawks, Spike?
Very well. It's funny because they flew under the radar for the first 6 weeks of the season because of baseball, because the Mariners took us on this historic run. I saw a commentator last night after this amazing Seahawks win last night, and he was like, the country doesn't see Seahawk football.
No.
We're not on national television.
Never.
We finally get a marquee, primetime, only game on the schedule, Sunday night game.
Big deal.
And Sam Darnold just stepped up and shone last night. What's the right way? He looked
shunned.
He was not.
He shunned.
Usually he was shunned
so hard,
but he shined out. 17 straight completions to start the game?
Something crazy.
4 first half touchdown passes.
I didn't get a chance to watch the start of the game.
Yeah.
We had it on. My mother-in-law was over. The kids and my wife, everybody it was kind of on, but we were doing other things. It was closing down the weekend, getting ready for stuff.
Yeah, I understand.
I was trying to figure out how to change a light bulb in the room, in one of the rooms.
Okay.
It's like hardwired. I don't know why it's hardwired into the ceiling. So that seemed dangerous. But anyway, I'm working on a light, and I just hear like intermittent cheering.
Okay.
I come out, it's 21-0.
Right, like
in
that.
the second quarter.
Boom. Yeah.
I was like, what is going on? Listen to here's Darnold passing to White for a 60-yard touchdown. Just the whole game felt like this.
Ball at the 40-yard line of Seattle. Play fake to Walker. Darnold's going to roll. He's got his man. It's White. Breaks a tackle. Going down the far sidelines. He could go. He is in for a touchdown. Seahawks.
Just complete dominant.
Yeah,
complete domination.
And that was a blown tackle. To be fair, it was a pretty weak Commanders team on the field last night. I mean, we look good.
Seahawks look real good.
Look really.
Nationally, everybody was saying,
right?
Oh my goodness.
Here
what
we
have
are.
we not been seeing?
We're for real.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold. We talked last week. Is Sam Darnold an MVP candidate? He's got to be in the conversation now. He's got to be.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for very good things for the Seahawks. And how nice is it? How nice is it to have the Seahawks to like transfer all of those angsty, sad feelings from the Mariners?
We so needed this
onto a team that legit looks like a competitor. That's exciting.
And it's you talk about the Seahawks at 6-2. Pete and Gino, which is kind of like our old.
They're the ghost of Christmas past.
2-6 down in Vegas, baby.
Yikes.
2-6, and the Baltimore Ravens, where Mike McDonald came from, right? Without their defense coordinator, now our head coach in his second year, they're 3-5.
It's not the feeling you want because you like these people.
I like them.
I loved Pete. I love Pete Carroll. I thought he was so great for the team.
Too.
Obviously,
I appreciated Gino.
Gino, great.
Yeah.
Loved his story.
I like
great.
Being 6-2 a lot better.
It's like breaking up with somebody. And then you check in a little ways down the road. You find out you're doing better.
You're doing better.
And
you're like, you made the right call.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
He's dancing now for money or whatever it is, or she's dancing, whoever you broke up with. Right? Sure. You knew better.
They're not
He's
stripping.
he's
They're doing
unemployed.
okay.
Well, no, I'm talking about kids' parties.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But you made the right call is what I'm trying to say here.
You made the right call. Yeah, you made the right move. You got out when the getting was good.
I want to talk about your weekend, but I don't know if we have enough time.
I can do this real fast.
Okay.
My sons both had their final regular season football games. One of my sons plays on a 9 and 10-year-old team. They're both flag teams.
Flag teams, yeah, but this is where you build habits.
Yeah.
Sportsmanship.
The coach on the other team.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there on the sideline watching every single success that our team had. He challenged it with the referees. Every single time, to the point where all of us parents are kind of like looking at each other, and then you start trying to figure out ways politely, because you don't want to like be negative to the kids. I encourage, even when they make a good defensive play, I'm like, hey, good job, guys.
They're
good
little
defense.
sponges at this age. They see and hear everything.
100%. But you have this coach running on the field just being a complete, I don't even want to say it.
He's challenging every call in a 9 and 10-year-old
call, and I'm sitting there like, how do I root against him and still not be a mean sideline person?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of tongue biting that had to happen.
Oh,
but
I'm so sorry.
Anyway, it was crazy. A lot of great stuff coming up. We're going to talk to the mayor, prospective mayor of Everett coming up next, and then also the mayor of Everett
The
later in
incumbent
the show.
and the challenger in the mayor's race tomorrow.
So we'll have that when we come back. Stick around.
The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins,
Weekdays 3 to 7.
is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize for you because we know you're going to go into hibernation. So here's orange and yellow and fiery colors everywhere. So this is our final gift to you.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Did you know September is historically one of the strongest months to sell a home, and there's typically a post-Labor Day boost that runs through October and sometimes even later. So is now the time to sell your home, and how much is it worth? Well, get an estimate of your home's value instantly at sellwithwest.com. If you want local expertise, someone who actually knows what's happening with the housing market in your neighborhood, there's no one more local than West Jones. Go to sellwithwest.com, sellwithwest.com, and start by using their free home value calculator to see what your home is worth. It might be worth more than you think. You'll get so much more than just a number from West Jones. We're talking about recent sales in your neighborhood, the market temperature in your city, side-by-side comparisons of multiple online estimates. You can even calculate how much equity you have, and even a breakdown of how your home's value has changed over time. Go to sellwithwest.com, type in your address, and bam, you'll have instant access to all of this and more. It's fast, easy, it's local. Sellwithwest.com, a better way to sell your home.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The Trump administration agreed today to provide some SNAP benefits for November as the government shutdown drags on. On Capitol Hill, the Senate returned this afternoon. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
The House is completely gone. They are out for their 7th week in a row. The House Speaker arguing that he has his members on 48-hour notice. If there is some reason for them to come back and have to vote on something, they will. But for now, he is keeping them out as to put pressure on the Senate.
CBS's Nancy Cortez reports the latest polls show Americans are angry at both sides of the political aisle.
The reality is that people who are sitting at home, who are seeing that there are longer lines to get past checkpoints at the airport and that there are delays and that people might lose their SNAP benefits, they blame everyone equally.
An airline group said today more than 3 million airline passengers have been impacted by delays or cancellations stemming from the air traffic controller's staffing issues. The government shutdown could also influence some races up for grabs in the election tomorrow. CBS's Hunter Woodall.
The most important thing here, especially for Democrats, is these are the first major contests, obviously, since the devastating election losses the party suffered in the 2024 presidential election by not just losing the White House, losing the Senate, but also failing to retake the House. So these races, especially in Virginia, in New Jersey, and even New York City, are really the first test for Democrats to see how their messaging is working.
A trial has begun for a former government attorney charged with assaulting a federal agent in Washington. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
Sean Dunn was arrested after losing his temper and throwing a sandwich at a federal agent on patrol in D.C. Video of the incident quickly went viral, turning Dunn, now known as Sandwich Guy, into a symbol of resistance against the administration's law enforcement surge in the nation's capital.
A grand jury refused to indict him on a felony charge, but analysts say convicting him of a misdemeanor may be equally tough for prosecutors. Sabina Castelfranco reports the search continues for a construction worker missing from the collapse of an ancient tower in Rome.
Tourists in central Rome witnessed the partial collapse of a medieval tower, the Torre dei Conti, right near the Roman Forum and the Colosseum. A cloud of debris could be seen as a second partial collapse occurred as firefighters were involved in rescue efforts.
Diane Ladd, a 3-time Academy Award nominee, has died at the age of 89. Her death announced by her daughter, Laura Dern. On Wall Street at the closing bell, stocks were mixed. The Dow was off 225. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
He tried to do the right thing and got his home set on fire. The story coming up. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Heather, Global Credit Union's got the update. South 5 at the West Seattle Bridge. We're still on scene of this crash, now blocking 3 left lanes. Your bumper-to-bumper backup starts on the Ship Canal Bridge. You may want to consider hopping over to Highway 99 right now, which is wide open through Seattle. Linwood to Seattle is pushing a half hour. Now, North 5, you've got a solid looky-loo backup starting at the north end of Boeing Field. called to the scene. Big backups down at the First Avenue South Bridge, where the bridge just went back down moments ago for vehicles. Southbound 405 continues to fill in between Factoria and Renton. Bellevue to Renton pushing 25 minutes. And through Tacoma South 5, heavy volumes from I-705 to State Route 16, where we recently cleared a crash from the off-ramp to State Route 16. Tacoma to Olympia, close to a 40-minute trip. Got another backup forming at the JBLM main gate. And rain is getting pretty heavy through Tacoma right now. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. A shoreline man who tried to do a good deed ends up with his house on fire. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman explains.
He was only trying to help those in need,
with a place to stay so that they could get back on their feet.
But Eric Basham says when one uninvited guest overstayed his welcome.
He moved into a room and then locked the door, so I didn't have access.
And he tried to get him to leave. Things got a little heated.
So he set the couch on fire. And I came out and he's throwing things and yelling. And
Shoreline Fire were able to get the fire under control.
The alleged arsonist is in custody. A Tesla in Pioneer Square captures video of a drive-by shooting early yesterday. Detective Brian Pritchard.
A lot of vehicles record, and officers know that the Teslas especially record, so we use that video all the time in these instances.
The shooter was gone, but images of him were captured by the Tesla's continually recording cameras. Seattle cops caught up with him a short time later. A Bothell man is charged with first-degree murder for the death of his wife in Shoreline in what King County prosecutors call a premeditated attack. Spokesman Casey McNerthney.
In this case, the defendant is accused of waiting for about 40 minutes under a tree and then shooting at the victim, in this case, through the passenger window of a vehicle. And then shooting some more.
The suspect, Hector Gonzalez Medina, is expected in court tomorrow. After years of losing steam, Starbucks may be grinding its way to a comeback. Starbucks CEO Brian Niccol tells CBS that compared to last year, same-store sales in the U.S. went up in September and October.
That means our customers are coming in more often, and they love what they're experiencing.
Starbucks said last month it would spend $1 billion to close underperforming stores and cut hundreds of jobs. 31 stores have already shut down across Washington. The Seahawks had total command of the Washington Commanders last night. Rookie Torrey Horton with a stellar first half.
Darnold taking a shot downfield. Open again is Horton for a touchdown. The rookie has two in the first two quarters.
The Seahawks win it 38-14. The Hawks are 6-2 in the season and are first in the NFC West. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain today with highs in the low 50s. It's 49 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours of fantastic radio coming up. Very, very excited. All right, we got a lot of great stuff coming up on the show. Right now, I'm very excited to welcome, Spike, you may have noticed we have a guest in studio.
Good-looking guest, too.
Good-looking guy.
It's a shame we're only doing radio, I must say.
Looks don't really matter in this case, but he is a nice-looking fella, and he joins us now. Scott Murphy, who is running for the position of mayor of Everett, Washington, which is my hometown. That's where I was born. That's where I grew up in the shadow of the skate deck in Everett.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Did you ever go to the skate deck? No, you were way too old.
Way
for that.
too old for that.
That would have been creepy if you went there.
Thanks.
Well, no.
I was picking up my kids.
Well, if you were picking up your kids,
okay,
that would have been fine.
Fair enough.
All right. All right. Former Everett City Council member Scott Murphy joins us now. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jake and Spike.
Appreciate you being here.
Glad to be here.
All right. So you are running against current Mayor Cassie Franklin for the job.
Yes.
The vote is tomorrow.
Yes.
I imagine that you guys are in high gear, trying to distinguish yourselves from each other. You're both Democrats, is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
And I think you guys were separated by, what was that, 65 vote difference? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. Actually, I won the primary, so that's a great headline, but 65 votes.
We're top 2 state.
Yep, top two. There were 4 of us in the primary, and now we're down to Cassie Franklin and myself.
Isn't that an insurmountable difference? Why are you bothering the campaign? 65 votes. Good.
Well, no, he was ahead.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you even bothering? You could have just taken 4 months off and then come back to work.
Cakewalk. Exactly.
I kid. Come on.
Here's what I want to start with when we talk about Everett. I grew up in Everett. I still go to church in Everett. I no longer live there, but I have family who live there and run businesses in Everett. It's a great city. It's got a great past. It could be a lot better. There's a lot of parts of it. There's a lot of Everett that I think could be greatly improved. It's the largest city north of Seattle, so I think it does bear some focus as we talk about, who's going to be running the city.
They may or may not get light rail.
They may not.
Right? I mean,
listen, if I got my way, they wouldn't get light rail, and we'd save a ton of money.
That's
now,
a whole
we may
different
disagree on that, Scott. I won't ask you your opinion on that yet.
That's one of the questions I have. Will you fight for if Mayor Harold tries to throw his weight around and stop light rail from going to Everett, who have already paid into this system?
For 30 years, I might say.
What will you, as the mayor of Everett, do to make sure your citizens get access to this resource they've paid for?
Well, the mayor of Everett obviously has a seat on the Sound Transit Board, and I will commit to going down there not to make friends with all of the elected leaders from King County, but to fight for the people of Everett. We have been paying for this since 1996. It's time that we finish the spine.
Will you tie yourself to the tracks, if that's what it takes?
My wife.
He'd die of old age.
My wife might say no to that.
He'd die of old age before the tracks get there.
That's fair.
Good point.
That's fair. That's fair. But Jake, I'm sorry, you were in the middle of setting something up. I apologize.
I want to ask you, and we'll get back to Sound Transit stuff in just a second. But I want to ask you a question. This was like a really hot button issue. We had so many opinions on this. Current Mayor Cassie Franklin gave a bunch of speeches and spoke in great detail recently when Kroger made the decision to pull out of Everett, their Evergreen location. It was one of 6, I believe, in Washington State. One of 6 locations.
I believe that's correct. 6, 5 Fred Meyers and a QFC.
So she was saying, she basically attributed it to corporate greed and other things. I disagreed with that because I know that area. I've seen that area. I don't think that people are putting up chain link fences and wire around all their businesses because they think it looks nice. There's obviously an issue with that area. And if I was running a grocery store where I want people to feel comfortable coming in and not steal stuff from me, it probably wouldn't be in the area that Fred Meyer has decided to leave. Do you agree with her that Kroger left because of corporate greed?
No. I mean, the manager of the Fred Meyer came to the council meeting 3 years ago and basically was begging for Mayor Franklin and the council to step up and do more. They had doubled their resources in terms of security. They had done everything they could do, and yet crime and theft continued to thrive in and around their store. And they begged the city for help. And so this ties into one of the issues I have, and one of the reasons I'm running is that for the last 8 years under Mayor Franklin's leadership, our police department has been chronically understaffed. In the police department, we've had anywhere from 25 to 35 officer vacancies in our budget. So these are positions that are budgeted that for 8 years have not been filled. And it's only in the last few months that the mayor has finally started to fill some of these positions because
probably not a coincidence that it's coinciding with the election.
I have been screaming from the rooftops for a year since I filed to run that this is one of the top issues in the city. So this ties back into the Fred Meyer situation because if we'd been fully staffed, we could have set up a retail theft task force or something like that to really dive into this issue and try to help Fred Meyer have a store that is viable. They've been there for over 50 years.
Yeah.
So I do believe that they were losing money, but I believe it was because of all the theft and crime. They were begging for help, and they didn't get it.
Why do you think it was that until only a few months ago was the focus not on making sure that the police were fully staffed? Like you said, if there's money there for those jobs, and those are good paying jobs. Like in Seattle police are trying to hire people, and they've just recently hired, they've 150 new recruits or whatever the number was.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it was a net +1. So
it's not they've lost just one less officer than they picked up with all this record recruitment.
Yeah, I mean it's better than nothing. But
to that point though, every law enforcement department is hurting for employees, hurting for law enforcement officers.
That's right.
Can you lay that at the feet of Cassie Franklin, or is that an industry-wide, a culturally-wide problem?
I think it's both. I think it's hard to hire good police officers, and we don't want to lower our standards. So we want to maintain high standards for our police department. But I think it's all about priorities. If we want a safe community, we've got to fully staff our police department. And I don't think you can say after 8 years that we tried hard, it's just hard to do. I mean, come on. At some point, you have to make it a priority. When I was on the council, the last year I was there in 2021, we stepped up and we made a budget amendment to give more money to the police department for recruiting, for retention bonuses, because one of the problems is the turnover has been very high. And that speaks to, it could be compensation, could be, the tone at the top of the city. So I believe we need a mayor who is fully committed to public safety, that we're paying our officers appropriately, that we have good training programs, and that we've committed to supporting our police officers. And so as mayor, that's what I'm all about.
That to me is, especially somebody, I have 4 little kids, and my wife, she's a stay-at-home mom, and she's out with the kids all the time. And for me, that's like the number one thing that I'm looking for in the place that we decided to call home, is I want to feel like they treat public safety number one. I don't want to worry about anything on the streets. I don't want to worry about, I don't want to worry about homelessness. I don't want to worry about any of that. And how are you going to address those things in Everett? And would you say that that's maybe your defining difference between you and Cassie Franklin? I mean, on the list of things that are different between you two, what do you think is the top issue right now?
Well, I think public safety, like we've been talking about, is huge. Now, we've got to fill the open police positions. We've got to make sure they're trained and they have all the resources. But the other issues that I'm concerned about, homelessness, you mentioned. If you look at the unsheltered homeless in Everett from 2018, when Cassie Franklin took office, to January 2025, the most recent point in time count, homelessness in Everett up 95%. It's basically doubled in the last 7 years. And to me, that's totally unacceptable. We've spent millions of dollars over that period of time, and it's getting worse. And so I have a whole different plan around how do we deal with homelessness in Everett. It's about a couple things. It's about a strategic review of all the programs that we are currently funding. That has not happened. So I believe we need to get the experts around a table. We need to look at each and every one of these programs, look at the results and the outcomes and what we're spending in each of these programs, and then allocate our resources where we get the biggest bang for the buck. So that's one thing I do. The other thing I would do is, if you look at Everett, we're 15% of Snohomish County's population, but we're 60% of the homeless population in Everett. So clearly this is an issue that's important and should be important to the leadership in Everett. I believe we need more of a county-wide approach to dealing with homelessness in Snohomish County. And so if I'm elected, that's one of the things I'm going to work on with the county, is to try to get the county on board with helping us in Everett to tackle this problem.
You say more bang for the buck for your investment in fighting the homelessness issue. What does that mean, more bang for the buck? What kind of programs would be more effective in your mind than the ones we're using today?
So, for example, we have a low-barrier permanent supportive housing facility called Claire's Place that we approved when I was on the city council, and I was supportive of that project. We got 65 people off the streets. The problem is that the oversight there, we opened it up about 5 or 6 years ago. You don't have to go back more than 2 years, and you would find that the facility had been damaged by a couple of residents who were cooking and dealing meth and fentanyl. So they destroyed a huge portion of this nearly brand new facility. So what happened is the city had to move all 65 residents out for about 6 months and renovate an almost brand new facility to the tune of millions of dollars. So my thing is we need to make sure that if we have a program like low barrier permanent supportive housing, we have to have the 24/7 monitoring. We have to have accountability, not only on the service provider that's providing the wraparound services that are on site, but also on the residents who are receiving the benefits. So accountability is a big part of my plan for this, but it's about evaluating all these programs, putting the resources into the programs that have the biggest opportunity to help, and then making sure there's accountability.
Can you speak to does Mayor Cassie Franklin, we're talking to Scott Murphy, who's running for Everett mayor right now, does she also support low barrier housing for homeless folks?
I believe she does. I believe she was supportive of this, but I think we need better oversight. I think you don't get to write a check as the mayor to a third-party service provider and then just walk away. You have to have involvement. My plan would be I'd be up there once a month meeting with not only the the service provider, but the staff and also the residents, and find out what's working, what's not working.
Let me ask you a question. I think it's great to have an approach that you're looking at what's not working. Are you open to the idea that low barrier is a bad idea?
I'm open to that idea, but I believe that it has worked in other communities. I think the key is having the wraparound services and not just talking about it. I don't think we should do low barrier housing if we aren't going to fully support it with the mental health services, the drug and alcohol services, the job placement services. You've got to fully commit to this kind of a model or it doesn't work.
The issue that I have with it, we're actually going to have Andrew Suarez from We Heart Seattle on with us at 2:00. We were talking a little bit about this over the weekend or on Friday
about city-sanctioned encampments.
City-sanctioned encampments, yeah, for in Seattle, not in Everett. And
unless you're open to the idea, I'm kidding.
And anyway, so she's going to come on with us, and she has some slightly different ideas about how you can actually help people. Part of what she's arguing, and I think she makes a very good argument and one that I agree with, is there's nothing wrong with barriers. We have barriers in everything in life. We require barriers to get into colleges. We require barriers as parents of our kids. We require all sorts of things that people have to live up to standards. I don't understand why we would say no barriers when it comes to getting people off the streets and housing. If you're just inviting people into taxpayer-funded shelters where they're still able to use fentanyl or whatever drugs that they want to use, as if that's part of their way of life that's acceptable, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I completely agree, and I'm not saying no barrier. I'm saying low barrier, but you have to support those people with the wraparound services, and then that's where the accountability comes in. They have to be accountable if they're going to receive these benefits for participating in these programs and getting themselves on a better path.
So they couldn't. There is a version where they would not be able to continue being a drug addict in the barrier.
In
the relocated.
Yes, in my mind, if they are participating in the programs and they are getting themselves on a better path, that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for people to come in there with no barriers.
Gotcha. Okay. The housing first approach, that's the thing, I guess, is the difference between, low barrier and housing first. The housing first, I think, is a mistake. And we've seen in King County, they've spent over $2 billion in just the last 2 years, and homelessness has increased by 26%. So clearly, housing first model from a dollars and cents perspective, and if you want to see the numbers of homelessness go down, doesn't seem to be working. So I hope that Everett, and I kind of think of King County as like, Everett on steroids. It's a much bigger city. They have bigger city problems, but I'm hoping that Everett doesn't do the same thing.
I think we can learn a lot from, the lessons learned in
Look
King
at their
County.
Mistakes and then don't do them in Everett.
Absolutely.
Could I ask real quick, with Kroger pulling out of Everett, there's talk of food deserts. What can you do for the people in that community who are worried about that, but not having access to affordable and healthier food?
Well, I think we need to have an economic development strategy that doesn't allow for more businesses to want to leave Everett. So part of that is retention strategies. And that's a big part of what I'm pushing for, is not just an economic development strategy that attracts new businesses, but also so we're not losing them. We have lost so many large companies out of Everett in the last few years. It isn't just Fred Meyer. We lost a large Walmart store 2 years ago, and that's contributed to this concern. So we need a retail theft task force so that we don't lose any more grocery retailers, because I think that's a concern. But also we have to work with the property owner there where that Fred Meyer store was and see if we can come up with an alternative to try to get a grocery opportunity back in there. It's something that I want to work on if I'm elected in January.
You know what I would love to see in Everett? Everett's got such a cool waterfront. Have you been down on the new waterfront?
Yes. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Within the last year.
Scott, you've been down there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. You've got the marina. You've got a bunch of really nice businesses. That is the way. That is what Everett could be. Why don't you guys incentivize? I was reading this really interesting article in the Seattle Times. I think it was the Seattle Times, wherever it was. And it was looking back at like 30 years of whether or not incentivizing tech industry in Seattle was a good idea. And their basic argument was like, it's undeniable that they've had a huge impact, but they don't know if it was a good thing, which I think is silly. It's obviously been a good thing for the region. Why doesn't Everett do something like that? Why doesn't Everett incentivize some of these big companies to come in? You've got beautiful waterfront. You've got a bunch of really cool historic buildings, which is people go nuts for that stuff these days. Anything that is made to look nice but has an old, authentic feel, people just go wild for. Why doesn't Everett try to attract more businesses instead of just trying to save the ones that are already there? Like make it tax friendly for big businesses to come in and plant, get Tesla in there, get some giant company to come in.
Absolutely. That's part of my plan. If you look at the plan I've set forth, the city of Everett needs more revenue. We've got huge financial problems as a city, and we can go into that if you want to, but a big part of that problem is revenue growth has been very muted. And that's because we have lost more businesses and the tax base over the last few years than we've picked up. Now, the Port of Everett that you talked about, totally separate entity. I love what they're doing. I want to take lessons from that. But yes, part of my plan is to have a very robust economic development plan that has sub-area plans for the city, and not only geographical plans, but also industry-specific plans. We've got to do a lot better job on attracting businesses to Everett. But I do believe that retention, everybody always talks about the bright, shiny object of a new business like a Tesla coming. We have to work on retention as well. We cannot afford to lose out the back door businesses and
Save
then
them all. Save those businesses, but get the big new companies in there as well.
Absolutely.
All right, we have 30 seconds left. The most important question of the day: would you want to raise taxes on anybody in Everett?
I don't want to raise taxes at all.
Excellent. You should end there.
You call yourself a Democrat?
I don't want to raise taxes, but I will tell you that we're going to work on solving the expense problem. We're going to work on a robust economic development plan. And I think if we do those two things, we can make huge progress in the city's financial woes. And that's my first set of priorities if I'm elected next year.
Scott Murphy's a good guy. The race ends tomorrow. You can vote for him or Mayor Cassie Franklin. My last piece of advice for you: if you could just be the guy who says, I'm not going to ever raise your taxes, and we are the problem because we're spending too much money as the government, you're going to win a lot of fans. That would be my suggestion. All right, Scott, is that who you are?
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Spike.
Thank you. This
Thanks for your time. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we really appreciate your time. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G? Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey, Mike Salk here. Who's got family coming to town this holiday season? I know I do. My parents will be staying at my house for a few days over Thanksgiving. And obviously, you want to make sure your home is prepared. You want to present a warm environment. And that starts with a well-heated, properly insulated home. Make sure your insulation is ready for that challenge this year by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come to your house, just like they did at mine, do a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and your attic. If your home has damaged insulation or no insulation in the attic or crawl space, get it fixed before the cold weather really shows up. If you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95%. But you got to act now because many of these rebates are ending at the end of the year, including federal incentives. Call Crawl Pros. They're the crawl space experts, and learn what's going on behind that crawl space and attic hatch for free. Then see what energy rebates you're eligible for. Go to crawlpros.com.
Looking for a high school that nurtures both the mind and spirit? Archbishop Murphy High School is where academic excellence meets faith-based education. With a 100% graduation rate and a college prep program designed to challenge and inspire, our students are prepared for whatever the future holds. But it's more than just academics. Archbishop Murphy's robust athletics, arts, and co-curricular activities ensure that every student finds their passion and thrives. Archbishop Murphy High School believes in educating the whole person. That's why we offer a vibrant campus life where students grow not only academically, but also spiritually, socially, and physically. Don't just take our word for it. See it for yourself. Schedule a visit and discover how Archbishop Murphy High School can help your students succeed. Visit am-hs.org. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy proudly supports Archbishop Murphy High School, where your story begins. am-hs.org.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's about grit.
Leonard Williams drags him down.
Running through whatever gets in your way.
The handoff to Charbonnet. Stiff arms a man, turns, first down. Oh my goodness, what a blast!
Fighting for every yard.
The handoff to Walker. He breaks a tackle, comes back to the near side, stumbles across again, breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Seahawks!
And a drive that never ends. Celebrating 50 seasons of Seahawks football. Visit Seahawks.com/tickets today.
What's your holiday tradition? For most, it's gathering with a joyful meal. Unfortunately, for many families, that tradition feels out of reach. To help, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors the next time you're at Safeway checkout or visit nourishingneighbors.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Funding for federal food benefits will continue this month, but only partially. CBS's Vicki Barker reports the Trump administration is tapping into a contingency fund to pay for SNAP.
The Justice Department only just met the noon deadline set by 2 federal judges who ordered that the food aid payments should continue despite the government shutdown. But there's only enough money in the SNAP program's contingency fund to pay about half the normal level of benefits this month, and it's not clear how long it'll take even those reduced benefits to reach the 1 in 8 Americans who rely on them. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
And that includes about 900,000 people here in our states. Government shutdown is causing growing delays at airports due to a shortage of air traffic controllers. Many are calling out because they're not getting paid. TSA agents are also working without pay. This traveler at SeaTac Airport is telling KIRO 7 TV.
I appreciate that. I don't know if I would do the same thing. But I feel like probably just a matter of time. There's only so long you can go without a paycheck, obviously.
The industry trade group Airlines for America says flight delays have tripled since the shutdown started a month ago. Now to the closing bell reports. OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, is tapping into Amazon's massive cloud operation. CBS's Jason Brooks with details on that deal.
OpenAI says it will purchase $38 billion worth of data center capacity from Amazon using NVIDIA's processors. OpenAI at first will use existing Amazon data centers, with Amazon eventually building out that capacity for OpenAI, which has been on a spending spree of late, having announced agreements with NVIDIA, Oracle, Broadcom, and Google, totaling a combined $1.4 trillion. San Francisco-based OpenAI had an exclusive cloud agreement with Microsoft until earlier this year.
Amazon stock jumped 4% on today's news. The rest of Wall Street was mixed. The Dow lost 226. NASDAQ up 110. The S&P 500 gained 12 points. Takes us to 1:33. We have Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron. Home Comfort Alliance has our update. South 5 at the West Seattle Bridge. We're an hour plus into this collision. It's blocking 3 left lanes, and your bumper-to-bumper backup is now extended Northeast 50th. Highway 99 wide open if you want to get around this a little faster. Linwood to Seattle is up to a 40-minute drive. That's a 20-minute delay. North 5, you're packed from the Michigan curve to the scene, and this has eastbound traffic on the West Seattle Bridge jamming up right there by State Route 99. North 5 at 85th, a little further north, a collision blocks the left lane on the off-ramp. Both of our lake bridges are wide open. South 405 is slow from Southeast 8th through Factoria. Bellevue to Renton up to a half hour. That's about a 10-minute delay. We do have rain across the region right now, adding to our afternoon commute. Other than that, though, the commute's looking pretty good. Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt ductless heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. The light rain will continue through the afternoon into early evening. Tomorrow, looking mostly dry with some sun breaks. Right now, 48 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. That was a really great interview with Scott Murphy. He's running for mayor in Everett. If you guys missed it, you can check it out right now on the podcast. You can watch us on YouTube, which is live, but I think you can rewind a little bit if you wanted to. And we post clips and everything on our different social media pages, so check that out there. Scott Murphy running for mayor. We're going to talk with current mayor of Everett, Cassie Franklin, at 2:30 today, and that race ends tomorrow. So we'll find out what's going to happen. Give them both a chance to make their case. All right, and they were separated by 65 votes, by the way.
That's crazy close.
Yeah, very, very close. I mean, it's not as close as 60, but like 65 is still pretty close. All right, Spike, parenting is hard. You know this. I know this. Everybody knows this. But imagine a situation where you find out that your kids have stolen something. Not like did you ever steal anything when you were a kid?
Yeah, I've been in this exact position.
Sinner.
Well, I've been in this exact position, but in my era. That's okay. I mean, I'm happy to admit, you're young, you're dumb, you learn. I've been trotted back into a store.
Did you really?
And forced to apologize.
This is so smart. Did you? And I bet you that changed your life.
That and the whipping I got when I got home.
Sure.
To be fair, my old man was a spanker. Never excessive, never to the point of abuse, never when I didn't actually deserve it and needed it, and I totally benefited from it.
As were mine.
I know everybody has different points of view on whether or not you should, corporal punishment a child.
I do not begrudge my parents one lick.
There you go. That's exactly how it was.
And they spare the rod, spoil the child, as I have read, and they loved me.
That's the pillow I sat on for my sore bottom. That's the same one I sat on.
That's what's stitched in
stitched in there. Yep.
Crocheted or whatever it is.
You know
That's
it,
fine.
yeah. Needle point.
All right, so there's a dad.
It made the point.
This was going around on social media. This dad walked his 2 teenage sons back into a CVS after he found out that they had stolen some just like low-priced items, which is what kids are stealing these days. I think there was a soda and there's some other things that they
stole. Snacks, yeah.
Some snacks.
Yeah.
But he did not want them doing that because that could lead to, other things that they might feel like they're entitled to take just because they might want them.
If the further you let kids get off course, the harder it is to get them back on track.
100%. And as hard as this would be to do, This guy did the exact right thing. He marches these kids in. You're going to hear this audio here in a second. But he marches his 2 sons in who look just about as sheepish as you can look as a human being. They are mortified to be walked back into the CVS. He finds the manager. He tells the manager what they did. And I guarantee you these kids are never going to steal again. So good job parenting for this dad, as hard as this was. But listen to this.
Come over here. Come over here. Excuse me. These are my kids right here. Okay. They came in here and they stole. I apologize. They coming in here and return the stuff that they just stole.
Okay.
And if you ever see them in here again, please kick them out.
Okay.
Or even call the police on them.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My big manager is right there.
Come on, go. Go take it back and tell her you apologize. No, he was still in them. I found out he coming to return them.
Okay.
If you ever see him in here again, can you please kick him out?
Okay, will do.
Without no parents? Apologize.
Okay, thank you.
Apologize. Thank you.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
What's your hesitation? Was it the same as mine?
That we didn't need to know about this.
It's the filming
social media of this is posting this seems like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
the object is to teach your kids about the consequences of stealing, and getting caught is part of the consequences, and making amends is part of the consequences.
Yeah.
I don't know if the public shaming does these kids any good.
Their faces are on camera.
Yes.
It's not like it's just on their feet and we're just hearing the interaction. We see what they look like.
Yeah, we do.
That's you could make an argument that that's going to hold them accountable forever because now they know I'm in that video.
Yeah.
But there is a thing also where, and this is a tough thing for parents, you want to correct your kids, but you don't want to break their spirit. And you don't want to embarrass them or shame them to the point where it feels like you're being cruel.
Well, you're right.
You don't want to humiliate your kids,
right?
But they've done something that has shamed the family name.
Isn't disappointing and shaming your family and your parents enough? Do you need the public also to be, on your side as a dad? Isn't, you know what I'm saying?
It's like when I see, they used to do this. I don't see this as much anymore. Maybe they just got smart and they don't post it anymore. But when you would see kids who have to wear those like sandwich board signs, have you ever seen those? Like a kid who, I stole something or I got Fs in school or something.
Yeah.
It feels very much like that parent wants the attention more than they're trying to teach the lesson to the kid.
Exactly. I feel the exact same way.
That's my only criticism of this whole thing.
Your kid, the public humiliation ain't the answer for your kid. It's having your kid think about what they do. Not that kid's going to think about the public humiliation of this more so than he will about the wrong, of stealing. That is the lesson here. Don't be the kind of person who thinks the laws are for everybody else and not you.
It's really tough because I've seen this with my own kids, and I've had to moderate. Like, as you become a parent for longer and longer, you learn what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And different kids respond to different things. And I can see one of my kids, if I just give him a look and let him know that what he's doing is not good, instant correction of that behavior.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Don't
make me put this on YouTube. No parent should ever have to do that.
Yeah, that seems like it's crossing a line. But there's another one of my kids where I need to go and have a separate conversation with him in a different room because I don't want to. If I correct him in front of everybody, it feels like that is hurting him. So I feel like
it's more for you than him, right?
Yeah, like
I
don't want to publicly shame him in such a way.
No,
but I also understand that maybe this dad felt like, these are extreme circumstances. His kids are walking into a business and
just
stealing.
Walking out with stuff. Yeah.
He might be scared to death. He doesn't know. Maybe they steal from the wrong store. Maybe that store
these days, you bet,
chases them or does something.
Right.
And
we've all been emboldened to become, our own security teams.
He wants to nip this in the bud. I mean, we have to because police just they can't respond to everything that's happening.
And shop owners are tired of it.
Yeah, they're getting fed up. So I think we're both on the same page.
Yeah,
I'm glad that he did it. It could have been done without the video.
Didn't need the video. I think the video might have been detrimental to even giving these kids, disappointing your parents ought to be enough, right?
It should be.
It should be.
I would hope.
Is. I was thinking maybe I'm naive. Neither of my kids. I never had this with either of my two kids. I never had to never was aware. Maybe they did something I don't know about. I'm not that naive.
Yeah.
But neither one of them were thieves.
No
I
stealing.
didn't raise a thief.
That's good.
Neither one of them.
That's good. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harder.
And I'm Matt Defector.
The campaigns are wrapping up. It's time to vote.
If you haven't already.
Our old friend Dave Ross joins us with his thoughts on the big races.
OpenAI teams up with Amazon and the filibuster and why President Trump wants to kill it. New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold on the big national stories.
Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Join us tomorrow 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Crawl space and attics are not places you want to spend much time, but many homes in our area can have serious issues behind the hatches. Hi, it's the owner of Crawl Pros, Richard Herron. For years, you've heard us talking about how we go where you don't want to. With our free corner-to-corner inspection to keep your crawl space and attic well insulated and free of mold and water. You've also heard about the pest control division of our company to keep your home bug and critter free. I'm excited to tell you about our newest division, Plumber Pros. Plumber Pros takes the same customer-first approach to plumbing that we do with our crawl space, attic, and pest control work. We've handpicked skilled plumbers that I know you'll feel comfortable inviting into your home. So next time you run into plumbing issues, from leaky faucets and clogged drains to full home repipes and sub pump installations, call Crawl Pros and we'll get our plumbing division, Plumber Pros, out to get it resolved. For anything related to your crawl space, attic, pest control, or plumbing, call Crawl Pros or visit us at crawlpros.com.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things have changed, and some things haven't. Using those lanes without a good-to-go account means you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. You'll always pay the lowest toll rate with good-to-go. No change. Carpoolers now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Does a good-to-go pass still save you $2 on every toll? Definitely not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE. Go to k2visionrle.com and schedule a free Zoom consultation today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Permanently.
Time is running out to save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. Now through the end of the month, save big on home comfort systems, generators, water heaters, and more. Plus, take advantage of 12-month interest-free financing and get your home winter ready before the chilly season starts. Trust the team voted best in the Pacific Northwest to be your dedicated home comfort company. Call Bob's today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare is underway. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man here. Get organized now with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
One day, the words on the page blur. You hold the menu a little farther away. It's subtle until it's not. At Near and Far Vision Partners, we help you see clearly, near, far, and in between. Expert surgeons, advanced technology, sharper focus for every moment. Schedule your complimentary consultation at nearandfarvision.com or call 425-900-2414. Near and Far Vision Partners in Bothell.
All right, welcome back to the show. Before the break, we were just talking about a father who shamed his two teenage sons, made them march back into a CVS. We just played you audio, and he made them admit to stealing.
Right.
And he said, if these kids ever come in here again, just kick them out.
Right.
Even call the cops. It's tough parenting. It's tough love, but it's because he loves his kids that he's doing it.
And it's as old as time. Like I said, I was subjected to this 60 years ago almost.
Yeah. But you weren't filmed at the time. We both agreed that the filming of it made it cross into a different space. It made it feel like, all right, this is a little, you're exploiting these kids and you're posting it on.
Felt performative.
Felt a little performative.
Humiliation.
I think he was being authentic, that he doesn't want his kids to steal, and I think he's generally probably a good father.
And maybe that's a new world. Maybe the kids these days, it's not enough for your dad to be disappointed.
And you know what? That is a good point. For them, in their world, unless it happens online, maybe it doesn't count. And maybe he recognized that. Maybe this is the first video he's ever posted in life. And he said, I'm going to film this so that you guys never get to forget this.
If you don't care about what I think about your actions, let's see how your friends feel about your actions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all right. That's interesting. Still don't know about it, but we found out over the break. We finished the segment.
We're in the company of thieves. Is what we found out.
Laura says, "Hey guys, something happened to me. Same thing."
That's what we found out. Come on.
What happened to you, Laura?
Much younger. I was like 7 or 8, and we were at my family was at the Rite Aid on 35th. Now gone, but
Oh, so it's safe to say.
Yeah.
Product just kept walking out the door.
Retail theft just got to him. Yeah. My little sister threw a temper tantrum in the aisle because she wanted this little Beanie Baby doll. And my mom said, we can't afford it. And I truly thought I was a genius, that I was the first, I'd invented stealing. I was like, oh, wait, well, I have a fleece. And if no one's looking, I can just put it under my jacket and walk out of the store.
Oh, no.
And then we can afford it. And my sister gets her Beanie Baby doll.
Problem solved.
So I presented it. Two problems solved. I've always been a mediator.
Oh my gosh.
I proudly displayed the Beanie Baby to my mom. We got home. I was so nervous. We get away from the store. I was like, I'm going to get away with it. I get home and I just pulled it right out and said, look, like I fixed the problem. I got the doll for my sister.
And you were how old again?
7 probably.
I
thought I was a genius. This was the Louvre heist for me.
It's actually, your motivation is very sweet. That you were just trying to get your little sister.
That's the redeeming, and you really didn't know.
A little toy.
I think I knew somewhere that like stealing was wrong.
Well, she hit.
But I weighed the pros and cons. I hit it.
Yeah,
I wasn't just like, oh, I'll just carry it out of the store.
Right.
I remember being worried about the sensors going off, and then they didn't, and I was like, got away with it.
You learned something. You saw a flaw in their system.
I don't think those sensors worked at all.
7-year-old little girls. So what was your mom's...
Yeah, they would never think to frisk me, right?
I would hope not. What was your mom's reaction?
She was furious. Yeah. So I had the exact same treatment that these teenagers did. I was marched back to the store. I had to present the Beanie Baby
That
over
day?
the counter the next day.
Okay.
Yep. This, like, I don't know, couldn't have been older than 17-year-old kid behind the photo
Perfect.
counter, back when there were photo counters to
Yeah.
develop
Oh, yeah.
film. And I was just sobbing. I was so terrified to confess my crime.
Oh.
And it really like left a mark on me. And he was like, "Oh, no, it's okay. Don't worry." And my mom like behind gave him the eyes and like that. And she goes, don't do it again.
This is very serious. You're not allowed to steal from us in the future.
Torpedoed your mom's whole thing.
It made an impression. And I was also grounded. So
Was your sister?
as much as you can ground a
Yeah, your
7-year-old.
sister's upset again because she had to get rid of her.
Yeah, my
sweet new
sister
Beanie Baby.
actually did cry about it too.
Oh.
But see, it's a good lesson, and you held on to that for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
and you never forgot. Did you ever steal
And now
anything
I'm
ever again?
Now I'm a law-abiding citizen. I accidentally stole a bin once at Target during college because I put it inside another bin and then truly forgot about it during checkout.
Right.
Did I take it back? No. But
So once you found out, you kept it.
yeah,
Thief.
a college student.
Thief.
I thought it was like $7.99 back in my pocket.
Well,
But it was an
guess
honest
that's
mistake.
kind of forgivable.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you knew about it, and then you kept it.
And then it was a
Then you
dishonest
kind of
mistake.
wrote it out. Well, no, if I go back, it's the damage is done.
When
So-
I was
going to say, so Jake.
when I was like 5 or 6 years old, maybe around there, maybe around 7 or 8, I don't know. Right, it's sometime around that age. I had done some gardening work for a neighbor. I used to go around and offer my weed eating services.
Yeah, that's what kids could do.
So I would weed, and I got paid. My neighbor paid me $5 because I did it for like probably a couple hours back then.
Yeah,
but
it's good money back then.
in reality, it was probably like 10 minutes of actual work, and he's like just took pity on me. So he gives me $5, and I knew that at the local gas station, at the local Texaco down the street, and this is in the shadow of the skate deck in Everett. Old-fashioned Texaco where they had like the little candy trays, and you could go in there and they had a bin of Tootsie Rolls that were a penny a piece. And I went in there and I wanted $1's worth, so I could buy 100. So I counted out 100 of them. And when I got home, I counted them out again and I took 101.
Lock him up.
Lock him up. And like you, Laura, I felt awful about it. And I gave it to my dad. I said, "Dad, what do I do about this?" And he said, "Well, you're probably okay."
He said, "Let me get rid of the evidence."
Yeah. Popped in his mouth. You're right. Good God. So that is the time that I stole. And to this day, I can't eat Tootsie Rolls without thinking about being a little thief when I was a kid.
It's ruined them forever for you.
It is crazy how that stuff really sticks with you.
really does.
Those like huge pivotal moments of like deep shame as a
Beanie
kid.
Babies and Tootsie Rolls.
Even just like saying it out loud, I'm like, I shouldn't feel that bad about it. Or should I?
I stole a yo-yo. So the old man made me take it back. I'm out there playing with it. Where'd you get that?
I stole it.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
We've already had our change of seasons. Now it's time for the changing conditions on the mountain passes. Putting on those chains is a great skill to have if you're heading over the mountains for Thanksgiving. Studded tires are okay, but chain requirements are back. Emphasis patrols are starting this week. I'll tell you about it tomorrow in Choke Points on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
If your commercial building is over 20,000 square feet, Washington's Clean Buildings Law not only probably applies to you, but goes into effect as soon as July of 2026. Puget Sound Energy's free Clean Buildings Accelerator is here to help. You'll get step-by-step guidance, easy energy tracking tools, ready-to-use plan templates, and a year of ongoing support. It's a simple way to save energy and lower costs. Sign up at pse.com/clean buildings.
Do you know someone whose everyday actions make Washington stronger? Someone whose care, service, and connection lift us all. They're Washington's community champions, and WSECU wants to celebrate them this fall. Steve Rabel here. WSECU has been serving Washington since 1957, and they're the only credit union named Forbes' Best Credit Union 5 years running. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your Washington Community Champion today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
Guys,
Tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends. And explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
Carpoolers using the SR-167 Express toll lanes now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The government shutdown is nearing a record with no progress to report.
It is extremism on the left that is the direct cause of American suffering right now.
This is day 34 of the Trump Republican shutdown.
CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns on Capitol Hill.
We are in the same position that we have been for the past going on 35 days now. Tomorrow will mark the longest shutdown in American history, but you wouldn't really be able to tell judging by the actions of lawmakers. We're still seeing dueling press conferences. We're still not seeing top Republicans and Democrats talking to each other. We're still not seeing congressional leaders and the White House negotiating.
In the meantime, some SNAP benefits will be made available for November, but there's no relief in sight for the nation's air travelers, as Jim Kursula reports.
More than 3.2 million U.S. airline passengers have been affected by flight cancellations or delays because of air traffic control staffing issues.
I just feel this is America, and you feel when you come to America that things will work properly.
An industry trade group called Airlines for America says flight delays have tripled since the shutdown started.
The Travel Association is warning of chaos over the holidays if the shutdown doesn't end. Stacey Lynn reports threats to judges and attorneys, among others, remain elevated.
The Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Marshals Service, and Supreme Court Police issued a joint intelligence bulletin, first obtained by CBS News, that found threats to judges, clerks, and attorneys remain significantly elevated compared with levels before 2021. The findings also suggest they're expected to stay high through at least 2026.
Actress Diane Ladd has died. She was 89. CBS's Rita Braver reports.
Ladd is renowned for roles like the waitress Flo in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, one of 3 Oscar-nominated performances.
You don't like me very much, do you? Not very much, no. Honey, that's okay. I've been dumped on by kings in my time.
A mega merger in the corporate world. Kimberly-Clark is buying Kenvue, as CBS's Kelly O'Grady reports.
The company would make $32 billion annually in revenue, and that would come from a number of the brands that you and I use on a daily basis. Of course, Kimberly-Clark, you think Huggies, you think Kleenex, Kenvue, Listerine, Band-Aid, Tylenol, of course, that being in the news a lot of late.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished mixed. The Nasdaq pushed higher by Amazon and AI companies. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
Election Day Eve. We hear from voters and election officials coming up after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. This report brought to us by Home Comfort Alliance. South 5 at the West Seattle Bridge, we're still on scene of this long-term collision. The good news is we've opened up a couple lanes. We're down to just the HOV lane being blocked at this crash site, but you're in a bumper-to-bumper backup way back starting in Northeast 50th in the U District. At times, you're not even moving here in downtown Seattle. Southbound 99 is wide open and great alternate route. However, since we opened these lanes, this will start to disperse pretty quickly now. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you 40 minutes, a 20-minute delay. North 5, you're packed from Albro to the seam. Southbound on East Marginal Way, you're packed from the West Seattle Bridge all the way to the 1st Avenue South Bridge. Due to a recent bridge closure, that bridge just reopened. Northbound 509 jams up at the bridge as well. South 405, we're filling in between Mid-Bellevue and Renton, particularly heavy from Southeast 8th to Coal Creek. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. And both directions of the Valley Freeway are pretty heavy through Pacific. Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Tomorrow is General Election Day. You have until 8 p.m. to ensure your ballot is counted. KIRO 7 TV found this voter at a ballot drop box in Everett.
I've always used the drop boxes. I did hear that that people that didn't get it in the mail early enough didn't get it postmarked. I guess that made it even more important to me to use the drop box.
Well, the Secretary of State's office is advising against mailing ballots this close to election because they may not be postmarked on time. Director of Elections Stuart Holmes says you can take your ballot to the post office.
Take it up to the counter, have them what's called hand cancel that, mark it as received on Election Day so it'll get counted by the county elections officials.
The Secretary of State is expecting anywhere from 35 to 45% voter turnout this year. Seattle police are investigating a string of violent incidents this weekend in the Pioneer Square neighborhood. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports.
A security guard is under arrest after police say he shot a man in the leg outside a nightclub early Saturday in Pioneer Square. Hours later, just blocks away, another man was stabbed several times in his back, head, and side. But King County Prosecuting Attorney spokesperson Casey McNerthney says, believe it or not, crime is down.
There's a lot that's happening to try to solve this, but when you only hear the first part of that headline, it's understandably concerning.
Violence continued Sunday. Police arrested a 21-year-old for a drive-by shooting and seized 2 cars. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The Washington State Supreme Court will hear arguments in January on whether an energy-related initiative is constitutional. Voters approved that measure last year to keep natural gas as an energy option. King County judge struck it down, saying it violated the state's single-subject rule. Supporters say the initiative protects consumer choice and prevents higher utility costs. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are cloudy and gray today with light showers through the afternoon. Tomorrow looking mostly dry with some sun breaks in the afternoon. Right now, 49 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. This show goes too fast, Spike. It's just flying.
Especially when you lose an hour over the weekend.
That's true. I didn't even think about
nothing to do with
daylight savings time. I don't even know what time it should be.
I know, right?
Wait a minute. So we should be done. We're normally done right now.
That's right. See you tomorrow.
Let's go. Time's up. Nice, Andrew. All right, I'm excited about this conversation.
We should definitely do this hour. We should definitely do this hour.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do
a great hour.
We're here already. I'm excited to have the guests we have in right now because this is a hot topic. People have been discussing this endlessly for years and years and years. Is there some hope in the future that this problem might actually get solved? Andrea Suarez is the founder of We Heart Seattle. She joins us now. Welcome to the show, Andrea. Thank you so much for making the time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Andrea, you have your organization does cleanup. It's an outreach organization for people living on the streets. You're interested in just cleaning up the streets. You don't want people to be homeless.
It's easy to get the trash. Human element's a little more difficult, but we started out 5 years ago picking up trash out of frustration. Naturally led us to intersect with people languishing in our parks, addicted to drugs, with untreated mental illness. And as a private funded organization, we took action and have now housed hundreds of people, uplifted the life of thousands, and picked up more than 2 million pounds of trash.
Holy smokes. That's amazing. And you're you just did it on your own.
Yeah, after calling every agency, parks, fire, SDOT, alleyway services, waste management, deputy mayors, council members, Find It, Fix It, Adopt a Street. Everything was by and large closed down during the pandemic. And I went to Home Depot and bought me some bags and some gloves and started our first pick at Denny Park almost exactly 5 years ago.
Wow. You know, it's amazing. I was just reading. The reason that you're on is we, last week, we had some comments about Councilmember Joy Hollingsworth was talking about this idea of more city-sanctioned camps, or at least looking into more city-sanctioned homeless camps. And I thought they were a very bad idea based on, in the article, the news piece that I was reading, they kind of held up on a at least as a reference point that they said was kind of working. Tent City 3, which has been around for how many years?
Right? Well, Tent City 3's been around for almost 20. What's the 3? Oh, I'm thinking back to Nicholsville.
Nicholsville
was 20 years
a
ago.
Disaster.
Right.
But how long has Tent City 3 been around? Do you know?
A few years. I mean, they're off on. Is it 3? Is it 4? There's Camp United We Stand that's on the back of a church. So each one is ran very, very differently. But Nicholsville, by and large, is like the most notorious that failed.
Nicholsville, that fell through. You had
turns into a nightmare.
Council members literally hey, this is a bad situation.
I mean, really, what's the difference between Nicholsville, though, and low barrier housing first projects at Plymouth or DESC? They're the same nightmare. They ruin neighborhoods. Sewer lines
are dangerous for the people in them.
People are dying inside. There's kidnapping, trafficking, thieving, nonetheless.
Well, the Tent City 3 that I referenced just a second ago, there's an ongoing rape investigation of a child. I emailed our spokesperson at the King County Prosecutor's Office and said, what's the update on that case? He says, well, we're still waiting back on DNA evidence. You had a guy who was arrested for luring a child into his tent multiple times. He was then let back go on the street. This was a big local news story here. This was just recently. So I am not a fan of these when they're not done right, and they have not been done right ever, it seems to me, right now, at least when run by the city. And so you reached out to us. You said, hey, you know what? We actually have a plan where they could be done. They could be useful, but there is a big difference in the ones that you're talking about in that you're actually dealing with people who want to get off the streets, and you also do have a barrier for people. And can you tell us a little bit about what you guys are proposing?
Yeah, I kind of going back to the garbage, the overspill of these tent cities are usually a lot of activity in greenbelts, whether it's the Queen Anne Greenbelt, St. Mark's Cathedral, East and West Duwamish Trail. A lot of the sanctioned camps overflow into those green spaces and become, playgrounds or backyards for the camps. That's where we picked a lot of garbage. So I learned a lot about these camps very early on. The one that works really well is Camp United We Stand. It requires an ID. You can't have open warrants. It's $1 a day, and it rotates on church lots. You don't hear about that one in the news. Why? Because it's actually ran very well. And we like that camp. There's some barriers. You need ID. You can't have open warrants. You're not supposed to use drugs,
All reasonable.
Very reasonable. And they usually have a spot for us. We actually donate to them and kind of help manage that camp already. So we're very familiar with that camp. And we use that as a triage center for somebody that might need that next step to treatment or are waiting for their housing to become available. What Joy Hollingsworth wants to do is get the conversation going again, because I think there's yet another demographic of people who may not have their ID, that aren't quite ready to take that 28-day treatment, They're maybe being hassled by the cops that say, if I see you here again on 3 MP, I'm going to arrest you. And they need to chill out. And as outreach workers, we can screen those people, and we're certainly not going to let children in there. But there's if well managed, with the 3 keywords: expectation, accountability, and structure, something that these camps don't have today, that you're going to exit, and you will exit within 30 days with a plan. Very much a triage center, like FEMA for the homeless.
Now, what happens if you get to day 31 and somebody has not done their part and tried to, turn their life around and at least be on the path to getting off the street and to kicking their drug habit or whatever it was that got them in there in the first place?
Yeah.
What do you do with those people on day 31?
I mean, there's definitely that tough question that we would know potentially at week 3. Hey, you're coming up on your last week. You came in here with the expectation that you were going to enroll in treatment or get a ticket home or serve your warrant. It's a triage center. It's a diversion program that's far less expensive than LEAD and far less expensive than trying to warehouse somebody with their drug dealer and their drug buddy on the other side of them, right? Yeah. It really comes down to being managed by people that don't have the ideology of the old guard. An organization like yours truly, We Heart Seattle, we're about accountability. We're about helping a person make decisions for them so that they're not waiting for government housing. The Como piece was all about, well, this is just a place for them to go until the housing's built.
As if that's the problem.
How about this is a place to triage them for treatment and to help reach self-sufficiency so they're never waiting on that government house. Half the people out here that we're working with, by the way, picking up trash, led my organization to be outreach. We have case managers, we have recovery coaches, we work with hundreds of providers state and region-wide. Why not? Why is it always government housing? Why do we always fall back on when their free services are available? Why not teach people to get on their own 2 feet and not have to rely on that? And you never hear that in any of these conversations ever.
Which is an old thing. Teach a man to fish, right?
I mean, they don't even talk about the camp being a place for people to triage towards treatment. It was just about waiting for their housing.
Yeah.
That, first and foremost, dead on arrival.
Well, what Hollingsworth proposed is, I think it's called a statement of legislative intent to study this issue. Well, I mean, what else can you do as a representative or as a council member besides say, let's take a look at this? Because Jake and I had this conversation last week, and I'm of the mind, we can learn from the mistakes of the past. We can learn from these low barrier places. We can learn from these Nicholsville experiences and say, look, this is where it went sideways. What if we correct those elements of this proposed encampment, which I think is pretty similar to what you're talking about. Maybe if you study this thing, you realize that low barrier doesn't work. Allowing people to keep using drugs doesn't work. Can we learn and then come up with an advancement on that, an evolution of this progress?
Absolutely. I love the legislative intent. I don't know if we need a 6-figure plus study. I think there's enough experts in the room, on the field, people like myself. There's Andrew Constantino that ran Nicholsville. He's ran tiny house villages. We together have, envisioned something that could be an incremental, before the apartment, but after the tent. Somewhere in there that's a stepping stone, that this is somebody that's wanting to take their steps. They are required to enroll, and assertive case management that's there working with you to take that next step.
Our own Charlie Harger did a piece not too long ago. We had it here on the show. Oftentimes, these people who reach out to those living on the streets aren't allowed to even offer sobriety or intervention from a drug and alcohol addiction perspective to people who are being offered housing.
That's right, Spike. It is absolutely egregious, and we see it at We Heart Seattle all the time. You're the first organization that's ever offered me treatment. What do you mean there's beds available? It's called they've adopted what's called person-centered care, meet you where they're at, don't create stigmatism or right. Judging. And it's like,
take them as they are, they won't come in.
No, we're like, hey, we're here, we'll take you to treatment. We just don't adopt the academic meet people where they're at until they're ready. This is a state of emergency, 10 years in. People are dying 3 a day in King County. We've lost 5,000 in the last 5 years, 30,000 since we've adopted Housing First. I want an emergent camp that's a stabilization center where you come in and we will triage you and you have 30 days to do it. There will be...
It's like a homeless boot camp.
There will be come and go. There will be exceptions. It will be more... there will be led with the right management team, addicts helping other addicts, who are in recovery to show them the path out. It is intended to manage how many people we've exited from the camp, not how many people we have in the camp.
I think that's a vital point, and it's interesting. And you mentioned the 10-year thing a second ago, and I want to just give you guys some numbers because I was looking back at this because I remembered. You remember the city's 10-year plan to end homelessness?
Sure.
It's like, it feels like a funny title now.
Yeah.
Started in 2005.
More than when we started. Yeah.
Yeah. Started in 2005. I'm going to just read you some of these numbers. Investigate West did a piece looking at the culmination of those 10 years, and they had an assessment of where they were at. So this was in 2015. We are 10 years further removed from that. So this is now 20 years since the 10 years to end homelessness. So think about these numbers. In 2015, the homeless count in King County was 3,772 people sleeping outdoors, according to Investigate West's story. Over the previous decade, they said the city had spent, or King County had spent about $1 billion trying to solve this homeless issue, which they said at the time, 10 years, we're going to solve it. There's not going to be a single person that's homeless. It was about housing first, low barrier, almost no barrier, all the stuff that we're talking about right now. And now in 2025, the last official count was 16,868 people sleeping outdoors, although I've heard it's about 5,000 more than that. On an annual basis, 40,000 people when you factor in folks that are sleeping on families' couches, who might be homeless but aren't actually living on the street.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily maybe count those people. It's not quite the same thing. But every 2 years, they're spending $2 billion on this issue, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So why is it, Andrea, the governments are so bad at dealing with this issue? We've now seen this. We've now had 20 years. The thing that drove me crazy about Hollingsworth's proposal is that she wanted to study how to address it better, which to me, you got 20 years already, all the information that you need. Look at what we've done and don't do that. Do something else. She has people like you that she can lean on if she was smart.
Well, I think that's you guys are, again, I think you guys are closer together than you realize.
Well,
she's talking about legislative study or looking at this, bringing people
that's
like
a kick the
India.
Can down the road thing.
Well, does it have to be though? Can it be? Look, these
she wants to spend a year and she wants to spend lots of money.
Do we know that?
Yes, of course. She's a politician. That's what all politicians want.
Maybe she just wants to meet people like We Heart Seattle.
That would be great. Let's give her a benefit of the doubt. Maybe that's great. But Andrea, why is government so bad at this?
Well, you have to also add on, government is intended to move slowly. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, or like they want there to be a collapse. Grimly, let's not forget we've lost 30,000 people to overdose death in that same time. So where are all these people coming from? I think that we are, it's called the Cobra effect, where, used to get a bounty for a Cobra head, right? Well, then people started going, I think I'll breed Cobras. And they were making money on perpetuating the problem. We are perpetuating this problem. We have an inflow crisis. We're Freattle, bring one, bring all. We are a sanctuary place where everybody comes, and we just the numbers keep going up, but yet we keep building. Where is everybody? I always say by now, and homeless people tell me, we all have housing by now. We either abandoned it or we're renting it out, or I know people that have multiple houses because you're not required to have ID, so you can be Mickey Mouse at this house.
Homeless people who are living on the streets who have multiple residences that they're not sleeping in.
100%, all the time. I had a girl that had a place here in Seattle, a bed in Portland and a tiny house in Portland. They go up all down. It is because you don't have to, it's low barrier, no title, no ID, just no coordinated entry. And so you might have a place at Salvation Army, you might have a place over here. It's wild what I see. People don't even move into their apartments. They're just like, I don't even have a bed. I'm not in community there. I can't use a loan. And so we see this time and time and time again that I have housing. I prefer to stay out here, and I only go there to shower once a week.
Let me ask you this. We have a mayoral race. It's going to be decided tomorrow. Voters are going to, I think it's by 8 p.m. You have to have your votes in tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, and don't drop it in the mailbox.
Of those two, that's right. Isn't that funny? They said make it a drop box.
We can't get to a mailbox.
I wish we had in-person voting. Wouldn't that be fun? Just to go and pull a lever?
It is fun. I've done it in the past. I'm that old.
I wish we had that. It's so boring to fill it out 2 weeks ago and just send it in. I don't like that.
Well, election day should be national holidays.
I like it. Let's do it.
I like it.
All right. So we have Katie Wilson. We have Bruce Harrell. Which of those two is going to be better for the homeless issue?
Have We Heart Seattle endorsed one of the candidates for mayor officially?
We can't, as a nonprofit, endorse. But I will tell you that when Katie Wilson said that she doesn't have an answer as to whether or not tents should be allowed in parks, and she said she would pass on that question. And Bruce Harrell clearly said, no, there should not be camping in our city parks. I mean, that should be very clear which mayor moving forward is going to continue to keep our shared spaces equitably accessible for all. So, and there has been improvements. It's not perfect. I mean, we have multiple parks that are still taken over. Dr. Jose Rizal, Kinnear's pretty bad. But by and large, Green Lake, Woodland, Ballard Commons, Denny Park are clean, and their sidewalks are cleaner. Now, maybe Georgetown's blowing up, but by and large, moderate candidates, no extremism, stay down the middle as much as we can. I like the Seattle Times endorsements a lot.
Harrell seems more serious about it to me, dealing with the homeless issue.
Except we live in knee-jerk county, and we're going to do what we always do and throw everybody out because it's not perfect. You imagine it's progress, not perfection. Why can't people wrap their minds around this?
I don't like this doom cult thing that I'm hearing where people aren't voting for either, or they're voting for more far left because they want to see the place burn down so we can rebuild later. And I'm like, no, just
please don't
do that. We've been saying that for so many years. And why, I will just say to your audience, a call to action, why volunteerism is so important. It is how you vote for the backyard you want to live. I mean, imagine one lady, your next door neighbor, galvanized thousands of volunteers to clean 2 million pounds of trash, help the homeless, just like church do, missions do, Boy Scouts do. There's a lot of people doing good. So get out there. If your person you voted for didn't win, there's a way to get involved, and that's through volunteering.
It's still going to be our city come Wednesday morning.
Absolutely.
It's still going to be where we want to raise our families and have our, well put.
Andrew Suarez from We Heart Seattle. Where can people find your website and check you out?
WeHeartSeattle.org.
Easy. WeHeartSeattle.org.
Do I use an emoji for the heart or spell heart? I'm kidding.
Spell it.
Spell heart.
I'm just, hey, you got to help these people along sometimes.
Andrew Suarez, we really appreciate you making the time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Spike.
Great work out there. Thanks for what you do.
You're welcome.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. The mayor of Everett actually is going to join us next. Cassie Franklin. She's going to come on and tell us why she should keep her job. We'll be right back.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harder.
And I'm Matt Defector.
The campaigns are wrapping up. It's time to vote.
If you haven't already.
Our old friend Dave Ross joins us with his thoughts on the big races.
OpenAI teams up with Amazon and the filibuster and why President Trump wants to kill it. New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold on the big national stories.
Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Join us tomorrow 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
There is one real estate agent who's been helping KIRO listeners longer than anyone else, and that's Wes Jones with sellwithwes.com. Wes, you've helped KIRO listeners in good markets and more difficult ones. What do you think has been the secret to your success?
Experience has taught us that to outperform the market, we needed to do things differently from the status quo, that we needed to do more. Our exclusive system covers innovative marketing locally and internationally, leading to more eyeballs on your home, better listing prep for better showings, negotiation strategies that eliminate pesky buyer contingencies, and generate stronger offers. Through our exclusive client programs, our sellers enjoy an extraordinary marketing experience utilizing techniques a traditional agent cannot offer.
So if you want to sell your home faster, at a higher price, and with fewer contingencies, if you want more, visit sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com, a better way to sell your home.
Once again, homeowners have voted Valentine Roofing the best roofing company in the Pacific Northwest. That makes 3 years running. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. I'm confident that when that red Valentine van pulls up to your house, you're going to get the same Valentine experience I did. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and a team that always goes the extra mile. If your roof is leaking, if you need new gutters, attic insulation, even exterior cleaning, give Valentine Roofing a call. You'll get a lifetime warranty on all new roofs and zero down financing. Call 206 Roofing to get your free estimate today.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Time is running out to save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. Now through the end of the month, save big on home comfort systems, generators, water heaters, and more. Plus, take advantage of 12-month interest-free financing and get your home winter ready before the chilly season starts. Trust the team voted best in the Pacific Northwest to be your dedicated home comfort company. Call Bob's today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Open enrollment for Medicare is underway. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man here. Get organized now with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's SHIBA program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. New week, same blame game amid the government shutdown. With the Senate now back in session, Republican Majority Leader John Thune said Democrats could end the shutdown today.
The vast majority of Democrats in this body were perfectly willing to prolong the shutdown and the American people's pain.
Meantime, the Trump administration has now committed to partially funding SNAP during the shutdown. CBS's Stacey Lynn reports that could take time.
The USDA will comply with the court order that says it must use emergency funding to continue paying SNAP recipients reduced benefits. But it says it likely won't be quick, blaming bureaucracy and old systems for the potential delay in payments nationwide. Since every state is different, a top USDA official told a federal judge it could take a few weeks to up to several months.
The price you pay for a coffee at Starbucks is stable for now. CEO Brian Nichol tells CBS News that's despite a 30% increase in the price of coffee beans this year.
We got to just watch what happens in the world. But pricing would be one of those things that we do as a last resort, and we do it very surgically. You wouldn't see us taking broad-scale pricing. That's not on the table.
But price hikes could come next year, he says. 31 stores, meantime, have already shut down across Washington. An update on a local cheese recall. Twin Sisters Creamery is still urging customers to throw away any of its cheese products, whether in the fridge or freezer. The voluntary recall was issued after tests found E. coli contamination in some batches. The company, based in Ferndale, says it's impossible to identify affected cheese by store code, so it's asking everyone to just discard those products. OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT, has signed a $38 billion deal with Amazon. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher.
OpenAI's deal with Amazon is a vote of confidence in the cloud provider, which is important a couple of weeks after a technical glitch at Amazon took down vast swaths of the internet.
This new deal follows OpenAI's recent pivots away from Microsoft as its sole cloud provider. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:32. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, this report brought to us by Seattle International Auto Show. South 5 has a really thick backup heading into Seattle, starting at Ravenna Boulevard all the way to the West Seattle Bridge, where we just cleared a long-term collision about 4 minutes ago. At its worst, this had 3 lanes blocked, so we're going to start making progress here. Just hang in there. Linwood to Seattle, meantime, has gone up to 50 minutes. That's double the norm. Southbound 99, still a great alternate route. It's just now showing signs of filling in as you approach the Aurora Bridge down to South Lake Union. North 5, you're packed from the Michigan Curve to the scene. Southbound on East Marginal has scattered backups from Soto down to First Avenue South. Southbound 405 is now pretty packed from Northeast 8th and Bellevue all the way to the VMAC. Another backup in South Center. Bellevue to South Center will take you 50 minutes, a 20-minute delay. And Seattle to Federal Way is up to a 45-minute drive. See 'em, touch 'em, drive 'em at the Seattle International Auto Show, presented by BECU, Lumen Field Event Center, November 14 through 16. Discover your drive, seattleautoshow.com. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Nate Connors.
Light rain today, continuing through the afternoon into early evening. Tomorrow will start dry and stay dry for the most part with some sun breaks for Tuesday. Right now, 49 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, we're very, very excited. We have 2 mayoral candidates on the show today. There is a bunch of elections happening tomorrow. It's a big day. There's one in Seattle. People are running for mayor. There's also one up in Everett. You have Mayor Cassie Franklin running against her challenger, Scott Murphy, who used to be on the city council. Mayor Cassie Franklin joins us now on the show. Thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Fantastic. Okay, so we want to jump right into things here. We had Scott Murphy on with us earlier, and we got to talking a little bit about when Kroger decided to pull their Fred Meyer out of Everett.
Yeah.
We talked about it a number of times on this show as well. There was a clip of you, I don't know if you were on the Jason Rand show or where it was, but you're talking about how what contributed to Kroger deciding that Everett was no longer a place where they wanted to have their Fred Meyer, which I think was there for like 5 decades or something. It was a long time. Mm-hmm. What do you think was the reason that Kroger pulled out of Everett?
You know, they pulled 5 stores around Washington State, 30 or 60 nationwide. I think they're making some business choices. Sadly, it harms our community. They claimed it was crime, and our data doesn't support that claim. We put a lot of supports to that store. When they first reported some challenges to us a couple of years ago, we put all of our resource towards, emphasis patrol, shoplifting stings. We created a buffer zone. We sent our care team out, and all of those efforts really worked to reduce crime. So that wasn't the issue. But I do believe that they made a business choice. They're closing 60 stores nationwide. They're opening 30 new ones in more lucrative neighborhoods, more affluent neighborhoods where they can make more money. Most stores have recognized that people have moved to online shopping, and they're not buying their lawn furniture and their, household knickknacks at Fred Meyer's. They're buying those at Amazon.
We shop. We have a funny saying in my house. I don't know if my dad came up with it or if it's just clever Fred Meyer marketing, but he says, "All your heart's desires, you can find it at Fred Meyer's." If it's not their motto, it should be. But, we do online shopping through Fred Meyer, and we just show up and we open the trunk and they stick it in the trunk and away we go. And I think they do a fairly good business. I understand their desire to want to be in neighborhoods where they feel like they can make a profit. I mean, it is their job to make a profit. Sure. That's what a business does.
Absolutely.
Is there any extra? Are you guys saying that Everett did everything right when it comes to crime prevention with Fred Meyer? Is there anything you guys could have done that maybe would have helped them stay?
I honestly, other than stationing 24/7 police presence around that store, I don't think there's anything else we could have done. We really did everything to ensure that they could make a profit, that they weren't losing merchandise through shoplifting, that we had a strong public safety presence, that we weren't allowing any type of nuisance behaviors, loitering, or just that light kind of, somebody sleeping on a sidewalk. None of that was allowed around this Fred Meyer's. And we pride ourselves on being very business friendly in a state that's not very business friendly. So the state of Washington isn't always the best place to do business.
Yeah.
And so we are up against challenges that are implemented at a state level, and do our best locally to make sure that at least in the city of Everett, we are very business friendly. And my data shows that that's true. We had record numbers of new business licenses just last year. So there's a lot of businesses that are choosing to locate in Everett, coming and opening stores and their businesses in Everett. Kroger decided to close a number of stores around the state of Washington and across the country. And I think that was their business choice. It's sad for this part of our community, and we're working to connect them to other grocery retailers around the area.
I don't know. Go ahead, Spike.
Well, it was one of the, people say that Kroger is hiding behind the crime element of their decision making. Their business is allowed to make decisions for the health of their business, and if they could just admit that that's what it is, but that's not what they did. You cited an 80% drop in shoplifting numbers because of the actions that Everett and the resources Everett put in place to help alleviate this problem. There are people who say that number isn't really accurate and it's inflated by people who don't even report crimes anymore. What do you say to that?
I'm sure that there's people who don't report crimes, but when we had weekly meetings with store management saying, please report crimes, make sure to report every single incident to us so that we can know where these challenges are happening and release the correct resources to that. And when we've done the shoplifting stings, and we see not just here at that Fred Meyer, but across in the Casino Square, those retailers all express that crime has gone down significantly in the last couple of years. So I know our efforts were working. Whether that's a perfectly accurate statistic, obviously, if there's a clerk there in the store that wasn't reporting, I can't help that.
What would you say is the number one issue that people in Everett care about right now?
I think people care about public safety. That is always their number one issue. It's always been our top priority. When I've been out talking to the community, knocking on doors, it is public safety, whether it's nuisance crime, property crime, traffic safety, all of those things. And so pretty proud to report that crime is down citywide on all levels. It's taken some heroic efforts, right? Again, I think there's been challenges in the state of Washington to address crime, and we've put a lot of resources to it. We've hired 18 new police officers to the department. We have the best staffing in the history of the Everett Police Department. We have the lowest vacancy rate in the history of the Everett Police Department. And so I think that has been very helpful, and our alternative response team that can kind of go out and help people that are in an escalated behavioral health crisis.
The Everett City Council recently, they had a vote on the no sit, no lie extension.
They tabled that vote. That vote is actually coming up here this week.
What's your feeling on that?
I actually very much hope they extend it. We've had this tool in place for 2 years. It is very useful to protect small businesses, to protect residents, to actually protect people seeking services from being preyed upon by, bad behavior, drug dealers preying upon those that are seeking social services. And it's worked to clean up our downtown, and that's necessary. The money that we make from our businesses, actually, we can reinvest that in the community. So this is a very helpful tool.
Go ahead. We're talking to Everett Mayor Cassie Franklin. Your opponent says that you spoke to the shortage of law enforcement community, and you said you have record numbers of law enforcement recruiting and staffing. What do you say to Mr. Murphy, who says this is a recent priority for you and it hasn't been a priority throughout your 2 terms?
Yeah, he says there's like 25 or something vacancies, fully funded, ready to go, just need to do the hiring.
So we have 14 vacancies right now. It takes more than a year to hire and get an officer on board. So it's not due to Mr. Murphy's campaign that we're hiring police. When Mr. Murphy was on the council, we had about 25, 30 vacancies as well. So this has been a challenge for many, many years. It's not unique to Everett. It's departments all across the state of Washington. I think I read somewhere where like the the 49th or the 50th worst place in the country to be a police officer. So we're competing with states around the country. And we have made Everett a really great place to be a police officer, but we also require really well-trained officers. And I don't hire every single person that comes in the door. We want the most experienced, the best officers that are going to do great work in our community. And we have that, but we have far more officers and fewer vacancies than we've had in more than a decade.
I asked Scott Murphy this question as well, so I want to make sure to ask you. I grew up in Everett. I grew up right near the skate deck, which is not a super nice area.
Yeah.
My
Getting a little better, but yes.
It is getting a little bit better. It's still kind of shady. Skate deck's no longer there. I have family who live there and run businesses in Everett. The number one issue for me with any politician that I'm thinking about electing is what they're going to do with my money and taxes. Where do you stand on raising taxes for people in Everett?
Well, the state actually just raised our taxes, right? And I think that has made it pretty challenging for cities to try to do that. We put a levy lift on the ballot last year, and the community voted it down. And so we, of course, are acting accordingly and right-sizing the government and the services we provide to what our community pays. We have moved towards public-private partnerships. You know, I think when Murphy was on the council, he fought, for example, to protect our animal farm. We were running a petting zoo, and that was one of the things I cut. And it's not because I don't love animals. I think they're adorable, but cities probably shouldn't run petting zoos. Most cities don't. That is a nice to have, not a need to have. And so we have made a lot of reductions during my time as mayor to ensure that the money that we are collecting from our residents is investing in the things they care about, which is public safety, park infrastructure, maintaining our parks, but that made us reduce our recreation program. So when the community just votes down a tax measure, we have to listen to them and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We make cuts. I've gotten quite a few complaints that we made cuts, but we had to because the community didn't want to raise taxes. And I can completely understand that.
You won't
in
get
our
any
current
complaints
economy.
from me. I like cuts.
Yeah.
I think cuts are good. They're necessary. Cut more.
Yeah,
you should be cutting more.
It's challenging. The tax structure in the state of Washington, the 1% cap on property tax, I understand that why it exists. People were getting sick of cities raising taxes by 6% or more every year, totally understand. 1% really doesn't keep up with inflation, so that makes it really hard for cities.
I don't like the levy lift. I don't like the levy lifts. I also don't like unfunded mandates. So we get a lot of those, and we have to somehow find the ability to pay for them. And that makes it hard for mayors and city managers to run their cities effectively and provide the safety and core services that our community wants. But we will always listen to the community. That's not something that I get to choose. Great.
It's always going to be a vote of the people.
Well, that's Mayor Cassie Franklin. We really appreciate you making the time just in the wee hours left of this campaign. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Have a great day.
All right,
you too. Good luck tomorrow.
All right, get out there, folks, and vote for whoever you're going to vote for.
There you go.
You've got little time left. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We got your text messages next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
We've already had our change of seasons. Now it's time for the changing conditions on the mountain passes. Putting on those chains is a great skill to have if you're heading over the mountains for Thanksgiving. Studded tires are okay, but chain requirements are back. Emphasis patrols are starting this week. I'll tell you about it tomorrow in Choke Points on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Did you know that Halloween is one of the deadliest days of the year for DUI accidents? This is Jonathan Dichter from DUI Heroes reminding you to celebrate responsibly and drive safely. This message brought to you by your friends at DUIHeroes.com.
If you or someone you know was involved in an incident over Halloween weekend, you are not alone. Reach out to DUI Heroes and speak to Jonathan and his team. Call 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com. DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist.
I was blown away.
In a good way?
A very good way.
How so?
By the generosity of our neighbors.
Nice.
When Apollo Plumbing pledged our service fees.
Oh, right. To benefit Seattle Children's Hospital?
All month.
All the way to $20,000.
And even more, as it turns out.
That is generous.
It was more than I could have imagined.
It's a good feeling.
Which is why I'm taking a minute to say thanks.
To all of us who called Apollo?
And those who donated even more.
On your website. Right.
You made it possible for us to help Seattle children.
Helping them provide patient care, support research.
And ensure no child in need is ever turned away.
Because we called Apollo Plumbing.
And made donations through our website.
Even more for Seattle Children's.
Thank you for helping us help them.
Giving is a good thing.
We're grateful to all who did.
It's good knowing Apollo Plumbing cares.
It's good knowing we're ready right now too, right?
Sure. That's what makes you Apollo Plumbing.
You call, we come.
It's fixed.
Guaranteed.
Gotta love Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites.